everybody! Welcome in. We are the NAT30s, and this is the Bums of Greenest Eternity of Dragons. I am Izzy, the DM, and we have returned after a month of not playing, if you can believe it. Our last session was 5/29.
I had five weeks for me.
Oh yeah, 5 weeks.
My kid's birthday.
Your kid had to turn 1.
1 years old, already in the way.
Milestone.
You're not going to remember that.
You showed your true priorities.
I know.
Sorry, guys.
We do have a new player with us. Fancy that, Amanda, is what I will be calling you forever. And so we are very excited.
I thought it was Fancy That Jedi. Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, yeah.
I go by many names.
I was just going to go with the real name-ish. So, very excited to have Amanda joining us, and her character will be introduced this session almost immediately. You can follow on TikTok at Fancy That Jedi. Yep. It was Fancy That Amanda.
It was, yeah.
No, I'm impressed because I could do half of that and then it'd go flying away.
If you want to watch some Jedi moves, we're back to our
Gummy bear.
Gummy bears and
I got them last. Remember the big bag? Sour gummy bears?
and Sour Patch Kids.
It's been 6 weeks.
And worms. There's worms in there too.
Very thorough.
Sorry. Apologies in advance, as I did also. One of the reasons why we didn't play is because I ended up getting COVID, or both of us did. And so sometimes when I'm talking, I just have to cough randomly because it's hard to breathe. So anyway.
And we're in the same place we were before, but it's better.
But it is better.
Fucking
We'll have
awesome.
Like
pictures.
this wall behind us that is... Oh, you can see it, yeah.
Yeah, you can see the. We have a new setup. We're gonna have pictures. We're gonna have all kinds of stuff.
What the fuck was
I
that?
have an Etsy cart full of shit that I just need to pull the trigger on. Put on the walls.
So-
Yeah.
What's that shit web karate?
And some of the stuff I'm
Reminders.
like, I think I can make that. It's made out of wood. I can do that.
Reminders that we have many ways that you can interact with the stream. We have all of our subs, gifted, prime, or direct. All of those. They allow us to continue improving our space and the stream in general. You can give inspiration to the players with your Twitch subs. The higher the sub, the better the inspiration. We currently have a pool for the whole team of like 21 1d4. So
Who's got the little...
just
The inspiration jar
yeah,
over there.
just keep that in mind. I did not
20.
So
count
it's
this
basically this whole...
21 of
Wait,
them.
when did we get so much inspiration?
because a whole bunch of people gave
Like-
gifted subs to the stream a
Oh,
while ago.
right,
It's
right,
any
right.
sub to the stream. If I know about it, you get
Because
it.
I know
Did we put them
we
in something? I can't remember.
I'll count it out later. I was just gonna keep a tally.
yeah, we tapped out at one point.
Yeah.
We had
We
to.
had like 15.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
You
had
can
to
also
tap.
interact with the stream in other ways using your channel points. Check out the boons that you can give the players, which I forgot to set up because there's always something that I forget to do when I'm setting up this entire thing. So, I will fix that right now so that you
You have no
can
extra?
give us things.
And then leave them out.
Let's see. And then we also have our monthly giveaway, which is our almost critical dice underneath me. You are going to be able to see that pop up now and again. We're going to be doing maze dice giveaway today because we haven't played in the month of June. So, and then if you check out the ones that are below, are actually they are rainbow colored for the month of June. So, I'm just setting up the channel point stuff. Folks, we've got Lenny on the screen, so you can also feed her if you would like. Okay, what's the other last thing? Yes, so if you type ! giveaway or do what Evil Ed just did, you can redeem your channel points to enter into that giveaway. Okay, I'm turning these all on. I could do it in real time. We are also building a homebrew world, so you can name NPCs.
Alright, we need to write the rest of the lyrics to this. in our own style right there.
Well done.
That needs to happen.
Well fucking done.
We also have a Patreon, and the tiers start at $2.50 a month, and you get a whole bunch of extra stuff in addition to automatic entries into our monthly giveaway. Also, thank you so much, Evil Ed, who's in the chat, for donating this lovely set of Okie Dokie dice, which we are going to give away today. So this one you want to type !ticket into the chat. It is
I
an
actually have
RPG.
that set.
Huh? You have this one?
I do have that.
Oh, alright. So these are marble black Okie Dokie dice. And thank you again, Evil Ed. Technically won them last night during the compound stream, but then said, I would like to give them to the NAT30s to give away. So
Yes,
we
well
appreciate that.
We weren't joking. We
Nice
said
job.
we end up buying a lot.
That's
Of
fun.
dice. It's like the classic trope.
See? I do.
So
Oh, yeah.
what's up with
Here's
them?
my
What
dice
makes them-
bag.
Like a lot of women have a brick in their
Get somebody.
their bag.
Oh yeah,
She's
it's
got it.
very heavy now.
I just upgraded. I now have, because they were too big for my back, I have 4 boxes.
Oh, man. That just means you need another bag from Eat It Life on Etsy.
Hey. All right. So also our patrons, depending on the tier that you get, you can become part of the Mug Club. And we typically choose a Mug Club winner. Again, being sick, I did not do it, so we'll choose 2 in the month of July. And you get a little something for your mug, which I need to send in the midst of Yin Yang a new one, because what I sent him was actually a bath bomb.
Oh, so
That
you-
was in the shape of a hot chocolate thing.
So he's sitting there like,
And he doesn't
I'm getting
have-
mixed signals.
He doesn't have a bathtub, he only has a shower, so he was like,
He's sitting there in the shower holding the ball.
so
in
I
his
have
balls.
to send that over to him.
Put it
He's
in
out
a
there
bucket and
Sweden.
soak your feet.
Yeah, well, yeah,
Just
there you
use it
go.
like soap.
I think, yeah.
But
Wait,
don't-
where did
but
the bath
then
bomb
what do you do
come
with your
from?
mug?
Is that something that TeePublic has now?
No, I send it off of Etsy to.
Oh.
I send little ball, usually hot chocolate or some kind of
Oh,
coffee
okay,
bomb.
okay.
It's like a hot chocolate bomb that you put into hot water and then it melts. And it looks, the thing I sent is like this beautiful thing. It's got like marshmallow type things on it, and I read it and it said like, it said bath bomb, but it said hot chocolate bath bomb, and so I thought it was a hot chocolate bomb. The marshmallows look real.
It says out of the box. The marshmallows look real.
They're all handmade.
Good thing you
stuff,
didn't try it out.
So I will send a new one very soon. All right, that is merch update.
Merch. I'm so behind on the merch store because I was sick also. And anyways, there's a sale right now. Actually, ends today. I promote it this week, but I will get July's newsletter probably soon, and it's every other week. So, as always, get it when it's on sale because it's cheaper. And I believe we do have a new one up. It was the clean version of the Satanic Panic.
Yeah.
Due to popular demand, which is selling almost as well as the dirty
Orgasm?
version. I don't know. I don't want to.
Classic version.
Classic version. That's a good one. It's not dirty. Just some people don't want to wear the Number of the Beast. But now there's the non-Number of the Beast one that is up there and doing well due to popular demand. So don't ever say I don't ever do anything nice for you. And if you.
Other one too.
Oh right, I forgot the Beholder one. The Beholder's up there.
Oh yeah,
Turning
the
the pack
days.
now?
No.
I'm remembering all these
everything.
things.
I'm so behind on things.
I've unlocked that like
And,
10% that I've been using.
Our
That
patrons
happens when
get
you're
a
level
special code for the TeePublic, which ends the end of this month.
But we'll get a
There
new one up
will
there
be
on
an-
the Patreon.
Yes,
Yeah,
there will be a
for
new
you.
one starting July. So if you are a patron and you do want to order something, and you have the code, use it now, or if you don't, we'll switch over to a new one that you'll get in July.
Yep. All right. Well, those are our announcements. Let's start the game.
Let's do it!
Yes.
Oh dear.
one of the life stealing. If you make a crit, you gain life.
You good?
So it's a
You don't want
scythe
it?
of
No,
life
I mean-
stealing.
Is that what you
Yes.
wanted?
Yeah,
That's it.
that was mine.
You were gonna give me some good.
All right.
Fine. Address.
When we last left the Bums of Greenest, you were sitting in a keep within the castle Waterdeep. The mostly successful assassination attempt against you, now nearly a 10-day in the past, has given you some time to rest, recoup, and regroup, and review your options. A recent discussion with Ramalia Haventree, representing the Harpers at the Waterdeep Council, presented you with a difficult choice. While the rest were dead, Arik received a letter from an individual identifying themselves as a traitor to the Cult of the Dragon. Iskander, a wizard in charge of studying the Blue Dragon Mask, believes the cult has gone too far and wants to help. However, he fears he will be found out if too much time passes. In the meantime, a defector from Kothja's shadow has also come forward. Stationed in the port city of Seahall, this mercenary has stated that young Lord Amsel has allowed the city to become a safe haven for the cultists. Given the city's location between Neverwinter and Waterdeep, if the cult were to sever the lifeline, it could have serious consequences for the success of your mission and for the lives of all of those across Faerun. Which way will you go? East towards Xonthar's Tower, Iskander, and the Blue Dragon Mask, or north towards Seahall, Peter, and his ever-present council, Fallon?
Before we begin, did you know who's who?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, okay. I was gonna make because I didn't.
That's the first only thing.
My character's name is Arik, so I didn't know if you would actually if you had known. I should have
Yes.
figured. but
Don't think you.
She's not a legend. You got prepared and you got a good head on your shoulders and stuff. So
It's more than what I would have done.
a lot of characters get thrown. I couldn't remember everybody at all. So, I mean, I just called you Lauren not that long ago.
Yeah,
So that
I'm
goes to
right
show you.
here.
So as you all are sitting inside of the keep after Ramalia left the room, you hear her out in the hall. She stops for a moment to speak to one of the guards, and you hear her say, "Something stinks in there. We need to make sure that we get someone to clean it up." And then you also hear her voice say, "Ah, Xonthal." And you hear the very familiar voice of Xonthal Froome as he is heading down the hall with Arwell in tow. Arwell, you see Ramalia Haventree, the head of the Harpers. You know her very well. She is the wife of Ulbrinter, who was recently murdered, a masked lord of Waterdeep, the owner of the manor that you were the guard in. And so Arwell, carrying a bunch of loot, essentially, armor and weaponry, after having finally convinced Ramalia and Xonthal Froome to allow you to join the Bums of Greenest. You make your way down the hall, standing behind him as Xonthal, with his shaved head, or bald head really, long beard, always wearing that shiny armor, head of the Order of the Gauntlet, comes down. He's also carrying a couple of things, leaving the rest of it to the tall furball behind him. You hear him all in the keep say, wanted to bring by Arwell and all the stuff that we talked about." And Ramalia is like, "Oh, yes. Hello, Arwell. Nice to see you."
Hi.
Very,
I don't remember who that is.
The tall,
very happy to have you joining this excursion. I will warn you, there is a bit of a smell coming from the room. I am off to take care of some business. Xonthal, she turns from you. And Xonthal just kind of, we'll take it from here. He pats her, like, she's wearing a very interesting kind of gown, it looks like she's uncomfortable in it, that she normally wears probably something a little bit different, but this is very ornate, very elegant, kind of elder type thing, although she's young. And she uncomfortably just heads down the hallway as Xonthal just turns to you, and then you all see Xonthal as you guys are quietly looking at each other, having contemplated for only a moment what Ramalia said to you. You see Xonthal Froome enter, hey, comes in, and standing behind him is Arwell Oren, who you immediately recognize as being the Furbolg guard from Narrow Creek Manor.
That was a tall cow person? Or bovine of some kind,
Yeah,
horse or something?
they're a fae race, but yes,
I only
tall.
remember the goblin and the turtle.
As soon as you said it, that's what I had in my mind was like the cow. I thought it was like a fire because it's fire.
Furbolg.
Furbolg.
Yeah, so
It's a fire thing.
Fireball.
or Fearbolg, whatever. I say Furbolg. So Arwell steps in, over 7 feet tall, as you remember them. Bluish kind of fur with a dark cropped haircut, carrying a bunch of stuff in their arms. Not someone that you would have expected to see, and the last time that you did see them, they were badly beaten and almost left for dead in the basement of Narrow Creek Manor. Actually, you saw them. You did not the rest. Oh, you did.
Oh, I saw that one right there. I thought they were dead.
Wouldn't have known.
Yeah.
No, I had no idea what any of them were.
And Xonthal comes in, and just like a big smile on his face, and he's got a couple of things in his arms, and you see him look at you all. You're looking good. Looking alive.
Feeling alive.
Well, that's good. That's very good. So this is an atypical arrangement, but well, Arwell was very convincing. The others, Roli and Gar, they're not quite aware of your current aliveness, we'll say. But Arwell came to us, has been coming to Remy for days and days, and so, you know, given the skills that they bring to the table, we thought, why not? The dedication, we need that. Especially with Erdnot, Kaya, Vidania, off doing something else. So,
The more warriors, the better, as far as I'm concerned.
Hey, I say welcome to the group. I'm not the new guy now.
you kind of are. I mean, they've known Arwell for quite some time.
We've known Arwell longer than we've known you.
Oh, well, damn.
So quiet, new guy.
Is Arwell fuzzy all over?
So the furball, they kind of almost have like a thin layer of hair, mostly, like kind of like a cow. Yeah.
For years? Okay. Abaddon's gonna say, hi again! See you again! And she'll go and try to pet her.
Goes in for a hug.
She's
It's
gonna
like,
try to pet her.
Arwell will look down.
Hi!
As this white-skinned tiefling with ram's horns comes charging at you. There's a little, as you step in and as you step into the room, you do like get hit with a very strange smell in the room. It is a mixture of like rotten egg and burning, like a burning rotten egg smell, but also
Wait, is
like
it cooking
fleshy.
now?
No,
So you're trying to
no.
burn it.
There's just a fire kind of gently
Oh,
in the
right.
fireplace, but there is a smell in the room.
It's been so long.
There is a smell in the room that you can't quite place.
More of a stench, really.
Yeah, there's a light stench.
A light stench.
And Xonthal, as he comes in and looks at you all, and then a moment he's like, I think maybe we open up a window. I don't want to blame anybody in the room, but. Arwell, why don't you put those things down? Yes, so there is that slight smell as you see Abaddon comes over. Now that the items are on the floor, you can give a hug. Definitely a change since the last time you've seen Abaddon, where when you first met her, she was white, like pure white skin, and now you're starting to see red kind of creeping up, like red freckle type on the face, matching her red hair. So the white alabaster skin is starting to mix with something else coming up.
Baby's
It's a
growing
little
into a
creepy.
real woman.
A little spooky but friendly.
You also see Arik Firesong, the human who looks exactly like what Boy looks like. No,
better
just
version, a better, more muscular
Get his
version
mini.
of me.
Get his mini. Like, it's him. It's just him.
It's a better optimized version of myself. It's if I was 6 feet tall and broad shouldered and more handsome.
Zan, the half elf with the broody kind of attitude. You hadn't seen him in a little bit, but he looks a little bit different. It's winter time right now, and so looking over, there's a little bit of a. It's almost it would worry others if this wasn't a fantasy world, but his skin is a little bit paler than normal. What else? Blue eyes.
The blue streaks just kind of randomly in his hair, kind of like near his hairline. It's like the blue from the hair is a little bit into his skin.
And he doesn't look as broody as he did the last time that you saw him. And then there's a new individual that you had not yet met sitting in the room. Another human, older, 50s maybe, 40s, 50s.
He's not entirely sure. He's definitely seen 40 winters.
His hair is kind of tied into a little bun in the back, but shaved along the sides, as much as what you see, and the beard looks like this, except for white. And yeah, this group sits in that room. It's a keep in the Waterdeep Castle with a common area and then rooms. You can see doors behind that lead off to individual rooms.
Was that Cormier? Is this the official?
Yes, that is the official.
It's one of the three. I didn't realize that.
So Xonthal steps forward. So in addition to a new member of your party, we also decided to bring along some aid for you. He leans down and picks up some scale mail. It is actually red, very bright red in color, and as he holds it up, you can see little inlets that show you that these are actually true scales. And he holds it up, he looks like very proud. He's like, Red Dragon scale mail.
I don't think I can weather that.
It's impressive.
It is indeed. I expect a little bit more ooh, something. Puts it down.
If Erdna was here, he'd love disappointing this guy.
He pulls up this ring mail that he holds up. There's like a slight shimmer of almost like a light green to it. Ring mail of poison resistance. This should help you against any of the green dragons. Black dragons? I can't keep up. Puts down another set of armor. Spiked armor of radiant resistance. These are enchanted by our best. You're gonna need them when you go out. I'll give you guys all of these. He pulls over a box that actually he had been holding, and in it he has he places down, I could only get the one potion of supreme healing.
Well, I'll take that.
Wow.
It goes in the bag.
Potion of
I was
vitality.
gonna say, Arik is gonna snatch that out of his hand.
A potion of vitality, a potion of speed, a potion of flying. He goes through all of these. He also places down on top of these 5 + 3 arrows.
For the potions of speed, the supreme healing, flying, and was there one more?
Vitality.
And then for the arrows, it was not that it matters.
5 + 3 arrows. And I'll make sure you guys get.
Do the +3 arrows, is that just for the damage or is that also for the attack?
+3 bonus to attack and damage rolls made with the magic ammunition. Once it hits the target, it is no longer magical. One-time use. And then he holds out this wand in front of him. Looks at you. Says, "This is actually a wand of wonder, courtesy of Remy herself."
I'll take it. I wonder what it does.
Oh no.
Where's roll to 1?
Creates wonder.
Wanda.
So
Wanda.
it is actually quite, I don't know, it fits you because this wand of wonder, when you hold it, you can use an action to expend a charge. You just point it and you roll a d100 to find out what happens.
Get the fuck out.
God, that's so epic.
And she has to say Leviosa as she does it.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to do it immediately.
Hold on.
Okay.
I'll describe what it. Hold on, because let me just double
I
check.
hope it makes
It has
smell
7
come out of his
charges.
Oh, okay.
Total.
Okay. Is he gonna
Flashlight
does he
and
say that?
His beard is just
No, he
smoking.
does
Okay.
He just kind of hands it off to you.
Okay.
If you want to do it now, that's fine. I'm just letting you know it has 7 charges.
Okay.
I want the smell to be gone from this room. Now everybody's noses are just gone.
Is this like Abaddon's wild magic in gun form?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's an Abaddon gun. Holy shit.
Oh, I can totally see her. She takes out her wand and she's like,
Everybody's kick.
Yes. So Xonthal, after kind of going through everything with you all, just kind of stands there with his hands on his hips, looking at you all. So you've done real good up to now. Not everybody's happy with the concessions that you agreed to, but you were put there to speak on our behalf. So.
But do you fall on our concessions?
I think you did what you had to do. You did what you had to do. You got anything to drink in here?
I'm sure we can find something for an old friend.
Yeah, do that. Find something. Maybe one of the guards.
is there a mini bar in here?
Yeah, there's stuff to make you feel comfortable. So you have things around in the room.
I turn around, just pull a bottle, don't even bother to read the labels. Found something!
Yeah, good man. This is why we had him join you.
He doesn't look for a cup, he just takes a swig and then passes it.
He takes it.
COVID.
COVID. And then he kind of sits
We
down.
don't do that here. Give me a cup.
Well, hopefully everyone recognizes from the council that sacrifices must be made by all.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard. I understand you did what you had to do. We'll see how it goes. I feel as though they could have done a bit more themselves. These metallic dragon types, but
They're powerful allies in themselves, so they ask a high price for their power.
that is true.
There might be more space for that relationship to grow in the future.
I wouldn't count on it.
Gotta
Or
start-
maybe.
Gotta start somewhere.
Optimistic. This one's optimistic.
I love how he sounds like Boris now.
I got 3 voices.
I'm just pretty sure he never sounded like Boris.
No, he did. He did. Because I only have 3 voices.
This is the predecessor to Boris.
Yeah, Boris sounds like Xonthal. Xonthal came first.
Sorry, you're not Big Al enough with Xonthal to be Boris.
Yeah. I'm trying to like not cough every 2 seconds.
You know it's Boris when you hear the hey, hey, hey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. So he takes another swig, and then you hear the door is open to the keep, and you can hear again more voices coming down the hall, and you can't quite make it out, but it's a low male voice that sounds very angry, coming towards you all. And Xonthal stops for a moment, and then looks towards the door, and he's like, "Here we go." And you can hear Remy's voice as she goes, "This is highly unprofessional, unregular." And then walking in, you see the red-haired dwarf, Conrad Braun Anvil, the ambassador. And he says, "I don't give a fuck!" He walks in, sees you all standing there, and immediately, like, his face gets almost as red as, like, the hair on his head as he stands in his full armor plate. Xonthal stands up and walks over to him and just says, "Hey, all right." And Conrad looks at you all and says, "How dare you? Speaking for the dwarves. I will not apologize. Who do you think you are? Dragon moots go back centuries to make a concession like that." This is my third voice. I'll try to do an accent.
Turn to Eric and just go, "That's so dwarf."
"You've got something to say? Say it to my face."
"Oh, I just said that's so dwarf."
And Xonthal was like, "All right, Conrad, all right."
But like having to like lean real far down, you can get on a knee so you're like eye to eye with him.
You can see that Conrad, as you 4 specifically, because you were not there, look at Conrad, you can see him wearing this shiny armor. And looking over at the red dragon scale armor, and then looking back at him, you can see that this is also made from a dragon, and likely metallic. And he looks pissed, just seething angry. And Xonthal is kind of holding him back, standing up above him, just like, "They had to do what they had to do," and they start yelling at one back and forth. And Ramalia is standing in the doorway, just shaking her head. She says, "This is not the place. This is not the time. Let's go. We will have this conversation. They have done what they have done, Conrad. They have done what they have done." And he turns to you all, says, "Never again." Try like 6 different accents and see which one lands. "Never again will you be put in charge to go speak on behalf of the dwarves."
It's good to see that the assassination attempt didn't take your life as well.
Assassination. I'd like to see them try.
They didn't.
No.
They came after us, not you. Why do you think that is?
Easy targets.
Really?
Below my trail mix.
You honestly believe
I
that?
offer something to the new guy.
What I believe is that you have you
My
all had no
magical
place
endless
and
trail
no
mix.
business. Speaking on behalf of
We
the
had
dwarves.
every business and every place given by you and everyone else in that council.
Not by me.
Exactly.
He looks at Xonthal, and Xonthal looks at him. Conrad.
Exactly. Then why were you at that council? You know you can't defeat them alone. And the only difference between you and everyone else at that council knows we need the metallic dragons.
Ah!
You can bar all you want. It does not change facts. They came after us because they know without us there is no metallic dragon in this war. The metallic dragons will fight them regardless. If they are not with us, they will take your men out just as easily as the cultists. Do not come in here arguing with us for the concessions we needed to make to live. Because this is not about dwarves. This is not about elves. This is about living and dying. Sure, your pride might hurt now, but after the war, you will live to rebuild.
You speak of pride. He speaks of my pride.
I can
Who is
see it
this
on
for?
you right now.
Xonthal. And Conrad looks up at Xonthal and is like, Conrad, this is not the place. Not the place. Let's go get a drink. Come. And Conrad looks at you and he points up at you. I will not apologize on behalf of the dwarves, on behalf of anyone, on behalf of myself.
Your pride will be the death of your people.
Make sure they all know that.
Well, let it be the death of all of us then.
Make sure
You
they
don't
know it was your
Speak for me!
choice.
You don't speak for me! And Xonthal is like, we're going to Conrad. And Remy is just looking like, as Xonthal pulls Conrad out of the room, Remy stays behind and she just looks at you all. Emotions are high after learning of the concessions from Otari Leocarnos herself, and then learning of your resurrection. It was not all politics, it was politics.
Is the elf fellow going to come in and yell next?
King Melindrak is in the misty forest at the moment. So we are spared his opinion. You can hear Conrad and Xonthal kind of yelling. They're yelling, but it's not almost, it's like angry yelling from Conrad with Xonthal in the hallway like yelling to get him to calm down, which never works. Like, calm down! Let's go have a drink! And Remy just looks at you all and says, well, you have a decision to make. It has only been a few very, well, not the kind of time that you would need to think. So I will leave you to it. And when you have made your decision, just let the guard know. They will come to find Arwell. You may make yourself at home in one of the open rooms, and I'm very glad that you have decided to join. And I am sure that this group will be able to use your skills in what is to lie ahead.
Thank you. Feels like the least I can do.
Right.
Before Ramalia leaves, Eric will lean over and say, I should like to speak with you before we leave, if that's possible. I know you're busy.
Yes, in private, yeah, out in the hall. I'm sure Conrad is.
Once that decision is made, we should all talk.
So she turns and leaves. Closes the door behind her.
Well, welcome. He's gonna like point at the door and all the yelling that's going on. Welcome to our fun little crew. Just hear the background.
Well, thank you. I feel like I'm walking into quite a situation here. Anyone mind explaining? Maybe?
As you saw, the cultists are getting more and more bold. They attack at our manor. More attacks, more frequently. Right now we have a decision to make. 2 strongholds, one to the north, one to the west. The west is a wizard's tower with a defector. They're offering us an inside track to get the blue dragon mask. To the north is Sea Hall. Directly in the middle of here, in Waterdeep and Neverwinter, and creating a blockade between supplies up and down and forming a small army. Both valuable targets. Right now we have the benefit of them thinking us dead, so whichever we choose, the next will know we're coming. So, do we want to go around, see where everyone lies now?
Please begin.
Right now we have 1 dragon mask. We know that they need as many as they can for the ritual. We've already let the white slip past us. I'm sorry, Auric. I vote for the dragon mask to the top.
Arika's gonna be cleaning his sword. He'll wag out his.
Outside of campaign, the man who ruined his life is in the other place.
What did you say?
I said outside of campaign, so that she knows the man who ruined Aric's life.
Well,
sounds
Arwell wouldn't know that. So
Yeah,
feel
yeah.
free to.
That's why I said outside of campaign.
Yeah. feel
There's
free.
someone in Sea Hall who desperately needs to die, is what he's trying to say. By Arik's hand.
I agree with Zan. I believe the mask is the best, especially with an insider, a defector, who explicitly said that time is limited. We go there second, we may not have our defector anymore.
Okay, Abaddon is going to scoot up next to Arik and just like, well, what do you want to do?
Wow, what a deflection done with roleplay. Woo!
I told you last time she was gonna do whatever you wanted to do.
I think we should do whatever you want to do.
I was waiting for like an actual thing. To, like, sidle up and like, well, what do you want to do?
I don't make a decision. I don't want you to hate me. You all, with the exception of Arwell here, know exactly how much my blood burns to be in Sea Hall.
I didn't know that.
You do now.
Okay.
It's the only reason I even joined. Watch Tremix.
I don't know how this keeps refilling itself.
It's a wondrous item.
Speaking of that, I'm just gonna wave the sword for a minute. I mean the wand.
Oh, the
rather.
wand.
Anyway. We just went.
Then your head turned into a goat's ass.
My looks have improved. I have to say I agree. As much as I want to be in Sea Hall, doing what I need to do, and helping the people that live there,
You did tell me about this.
is
I take back what I said.
if we don't take this wizard's tower and get that blue mask, there may not be a Sea Hall to save. like to talk to Romalia for a few things. If we're to do this, and I'm to forego Sea Hall yet again at the want and need and order of this council, I'll need something in return. So it hinges on what Romalia says. If I have to leave and you guys carry on to the Wizard's Tower yourself, so be it. All it's going to depend on what Romalia is willing to do with the Harpers for me.
Evido's gonna wrap her tail around.
That's all I've got to say about that. Goes back to cleaning his sword.
Well, it seems pretty settled then. On the plus side, your legend will grow. You'll send fear in your enemy's heart when he hears of your legendary exploits.
My enemy believes me dead.
Aye, but after the Wizard Tower, he'll know you're alive.
I have an idea about that, my friend. He's going to hold on his hand with a missing ring finger.
Just give a shocker.
I didn't. I was actually thinking more like, like this, but I was trying to figure out how to do it with the missing. But this just doesn't work. If I had like a little stump, maybe. Like a little stump.
Before we run, do you have any questions, Orwell?
No, I'm just gonna roll with it.
It's best to do that with this festival. With this crew, it's best to do so. How did you survive?
A little bit of luck, I think. Just barely.
Zan's words said it was quite a mess down there.
It was. And with everything that happened, I couldn't bear the thought of just, I don't know how I would live with all of the loss. So I needed to come along.
It's good to have you.
Hopefully help you along.
It's good to have you.
Thank you.
Don't do like that classic forearm, stick his forearm out like that. No, you gotta grab the fork like this.
We don't do that in the Fey realm, but I like it. Oh, and she reaches in. They reach into their robes and pull out a small, average size, but next to Arwell, seeming quite small, guinea pig.
Oh Jesus! Oh, Abaddon's gonna try stealing the guinea pig.
Did you just become best friends?
No, just became best friends with the guinea pig.
The tail
To
goes
Arwell.
around
I was gonna say
you now.
No, like to Arwell, it's like, oh, that's great. Palm to the face, guinea pig.
This is Charlie.
Charlie!
Watch for Abaddon. She likes small, fuzzy, cute things.
He'll come out again though, right?
Yes.
Charlie.
And Charlie did get to meet Micaiah when Arwell and Micaiah were chatting several times on the second floor.
Just very
That was
muffled.
a perfect little guinea pig. That was really good.
Sound they sound?
Yeah.
It was like a perfect, yeah.
I don't think I've ever heard a guinea pig.
I had a guinea pig. His name was
We
Jojo.
had guinea pigs too.
Yeah, he was a
They
big
both
fat,
have the
he was a
same
big fat
name.
guinea pig named Jojo.
Guinea pig.
Is Charlie a normal pet or familiar or?
Just my companion.
What's Charlie's favorite food? I bet it's the same as mine.
Steak. That little voice comes from the pocket too. Flush up my airbase. Sorry. This is what we do.
Charlie drinks from a skull goblet instead of a little water jar straw
It's a
thing.
pocket dimension. You put him in, and he just, he puts on his little monocle. He sits down and swirls the blood.
He sits on that throne that Conan sat on at the end of Conan the Barbarian.
Wait, what color is Charlie?
Charlie, what is the best of life?
Like a beige, kind of like the wall, like tan and white, sort of spotted pattern. Oh, he likes wilted lettuce. It's his favorite.
Do you like wilted lettuce, Avedon?
I mean, if Charlie wanted to sit with me and have some, then we could eat it together sometime, maybe. Someday. I like it. Yeah, I think I like it. Charlie likes it, I think I like it.
You'll learn to like it. Learn to love it.
Charlie hears her and he kind of pokes his head up.
We all know
This is
that.
fucking delicious.
Everyone loves cabbage, so why wouldn't she love wilted lettuce, right?
Same.
Arga's gonna bow out and go searching for him.
Okay.
He's gonna try to tug along to him.
Okay. All right. So, heading out of the room, there is a guard stationed outside of your door, and asking them. They send you. Actually, they are going to escort you. So the guard.
Wait, are we all going? Or is it just you guys?
Yeah, it's just gonna be.
Yeah, so just the two of
He
them.
like I know I didn't exactly explain it all, but while you guys were like chit-chatting about Charlie, they're just gonna
Okay.
not like stealth,
Snuck
like no
out?
stealth rolls or nothing
Yeah.
like that. But
Just exit the room.
he did mention that he wanted to talk to her after we made the decision.
Yeah.
So.
So when you pass by another guard that's stationed, the one guard has you halt so that they can relay to them to go send somebody down. There's a little bit of a changing of the guard type thing, and then they bring you through the castle. It's a very, very large building, and so easy to get lost. You have no idea where you are. You're just following this guard. Did you want to talk while you're on your way?
Arga's not saying anything.
Must have been a tough choice for you.
It wasn't easy, but I know what needs to be done. If this was 6 months ago, I might have made a different decision.
Aye. That first night we met, you would have given anything to get to see Hall, to get a chance to go after Peter.
You're not wrong.
You're a good man, Ulrich.
I'm trying to be. It helps being with good people.
So you continue through the hall. Is there anything that you three are going to be doing while they're...
Play pranks on Val with Charlie.
Now you are in this, as they leave the room, that smell is still in, like it has not left the windows. You opened up windows.
Oh, yeah.
So the windows have helped, but it's almost like it permeated a little bit.
So what is that? Like, did you throw a body in the fire?
I don't know. We went out shopping, and then when we came...
Did you throw a body in the fire? I don't know, actually. Sorry.
Move forward, there's like that little scaly hand.
I mean, I work with death, and I know the smell of it, and that is the smell of something that died.
Well, no, I don't know. When we went out shopping, it was great, and Dan and I had fun, and then we got a lot of things. I'll show you what we got. But then when we came back, it was there, and it was awful, and I just don't know what it was.
Do I believe her?
Roll a deception, roll an insight.
Aren't they Amber?
Actually, I don't.
Just
You will roll.
pooping on
Yeah,
beds?
You guys can roll.
I rolled deception.
Yep.
16.
18.
So you haven't known Avedon for very long, but Val, as you
You know
are,
she's a liar.
as you are looking at her, you haven't known Avedon for very long, but you have known a variety of beings, humanoids, and you have learned to, tell when somebody has a tell. And she's not really looking at you in the face. There's a lot of and while she's young and all, there's just something about what she's saying that it leads you to believe she's not telling the truth. And
Get off of the call.
and Abaddon, when you're done talking, like in your own mind, you're like, yeah, I did a great job.
Yeah.
Like, you look at like you do
Oh, yeah.
the whole thing of looking around and not really, and then when you're done, you like make eye contact finally because you're done, and you're like,
Okay. Can I tell it's like coming from the fireplace? Like, is that, or it's just permeating the room and you can't tell?
Yeah, at this point, what I can say is that the smell has a like burnt essence to it. So anyone would be able to deduce that it kind of like something about the fire, likely the fireplace, but you can't tell exactly. Like,
Am I familiar with the smell? Does dragon have a
it's not.
dragon fetus have a particular scent?
It smells
I
like a
do.
burnt rotten egg.
Marvel probably doesn't use it. Older people
It smells
sleep in the
like
dark.
a burnt rotten egg.
What's your passive perception? I want to know if how bad this smells to you. Does you have, you have like advantage
Actually,
on
no, not
smell
bad,
checks?
not bad.
No, so these are,
Like knocks you out.
Oh,
so that you're like just with no rolls,
Oh,
your
15.
perception's 15.
Yeah.
Way better than me.
I don't have anything
Right.
smelly. I thought maybe I had a smelly item.
You put everything in. You put the backpack
Yeah.
and the egg.
Oh yeah.
They
Yes.
threw the
I had to burn the whole
the Jansport's in there.
So, are you doing anything with that information, or?
I'm just going to file it away.
Okay.
And then I'm going to take out the new short sword that San gave me. I'm just going to examine it, clean it. Just go.
I'm gonna play with the wand.
Okay. So you do have to attune to this in order to.
Oh,
when you attune
okay.
to it, you'll be able to know exactly what it does. So if you put Wand of Wonders in there and then attune to it. In the meantime,
Shoots hamsters.
Gerbils. Screaming, flaming gerbils at people.
Arwell, you are. Let me just double check here. There are several sets of armor that were dropped off: the red dragon scale mail, the ring mail of poison resistance, the spiked armor of radiant resistance, and you, being a cleric, are able to wear something there. So I would have to double check, but I believe it is actually any of them, perhaps.
what?
Any of them, I think.
Oh.
So it's really kind
They're
of
all medium, I think, right?
all medium. Well, no, the ring mail is heavy, but cleric
I
is
definitely was looking at that dragon scale mail. Dragon scale armor.
the dragon
but,
scale armor.
I can't wear any.
But it depends on.
Well, I can. I just don't want
His eyes did linger upon it.
Okay.
to. He walks out of the room. He's like,
No, his mind is focused on other things. But
We also have armor.
So, I will, like I said, I will make sure everybody knows exactly what is in the stash. I have pictures of it, like, right in front of me. But you definitely have stuff. I'm just looking at your proficiencies real quick.
She has
Can't believe
proficiency
I
in light and medium.
Light and medium. Okay, so you can do either the red dragon scale mail or the spiked armor of radiant resistance.
I will do the spiked armor of radiant resistance.
Okay.
it's perfect
So-
for a cleric.
Yes.
It's gonna be intimidating as fuck.
this
I
picture
was
is
gonna
like
say.
you now look like the Shredder.
I shit you not, exactly what I was thinking. He was gonna have all these spikes, or like almost like King Koopa, like Koopa. You know what I'm saying? Like King Koopa, all these fucking spikes everywhere. Fuck with me.
Alright.
Can add it to your inventory is.
So, Arik and Zan, back to you, heading through the hallway. You're led through until you get to actually quite just one of the least ornate doors that you have come across. Like a bunch of them, obviously, like the one that you've entered for the council meetings, this double doors with all this inlay and carving. This is just a regular kind of nondescript wooden door, and the guard raps on the door very lightly, and you hear "come in," and then they open the door, and just lean in, and you hear them. It's almost like they speak so low that even though you're behind them, you can't even really hear them. And she says, "Ah, yes, come, bring them in," and then they turn to you and usher you into this very small study that is has a single window, very plain. Has a purpose, and the purpose is to sit at a desk and maybe write letters. There are some bookshelves, some books, but just kind of a very quiet room, some candle light. It's evening, the sun is starting to go down, and Romalia is sitting there behind a desk, small desk, and she just looks up at you as you come in. She's like, "Ah, both of you. Oh, please, well, I would offer you to sit, but there is no chair other than the one I am sitting in. So please come in. You may close the door," and the guard does.
It's quite all right. Thank you.
We've done enough sitting and laying down for the past 10 day? Past 10 day to last a while, so we don't mind standing.
I will be honest, I was, if you're here to let me know what you have decided, I was not expecting it to be this soon.
We've decided to go to the tower.
I see.
But I'll need something in return from your organization. Art doesn't know how secure this is. You know, a few things, nothing that, just mostly reconnaissance and stuff like that. Things of that nature regarding Sea Hall. 4 things that I need.
4 things. Okay, and what are those things?
I'll provide you with a list of names. It's not a very long list of people that I know and trust from my time at Sea Hall. Good people all. I need to know if they're alive, if they've been killed, deceased, their status. Maybe you can have your people inquire into any particular loyalties. Need fast transportation once we're done with the tower and we come back here to report. My enemies will know that I'm alive. They currently believe, as I think you know, that they succeeded when they killed me the first time.
Yes, indeed.
So, again, Arx has phantom pain in his hand, his fingers. So fast transportation from here to Sea Hall as fast as possible after we've completed our report.
Do you want to go from Xonthal's tower to Sea Hall, or?
As much as I wish that were the case, I believe the council will most likely need us to report back on our findings with that mask, should we get it.
You are correct, yes.
I need your people to inquire about any particular ways. I know how to get into the city the proper ways, or the proper channels. There's the harbor, there's the different gates. If there's any way to get us in through a sewer system or a cistern, anything that may be under their line of notice.
There are several ways into the city. You can, in theory, walk right through the front gate.
They'll know my face, so my face would have to be something else. I don't know how much they know of the people that I've been traveling with these past months.
Well, with Brewbottle on a separate mission, it may be a bit easier. We are working on establishing, if we can, a more direct way in. There have been a lot of changes in Sea Hall since you were last there. After the attempted revolution, riot, it was not well planned from my understanding. It just happened. There are still, though, groups of folks that have begun quietly gathering and attempting to figure out a way to overthrow Peter. But you can't just overthrow a government. You need to have a plan for what happens after. And so we have people in the city that are aware of those that are going to attempt to rise up, should they be successful at bringing Peter down. However, that council, Fallon, remains a mystery. And all this to say that we have allies inside we are speaking with, but they are not well armored, well armed. He has done a very good job of hiring that army he was looking for. We are taking down any of the writs that he has put up, asking for people to conscript to his army. When we see them, we tear them down.
The people of Sea Hall, they're brave and they're generous, but they're not typically warriors. The ones that you could maybe call warriors that I trained, they died on the field.
Yes, we have gotten to know a small handful of I don't even know what we call them, Sea Hallians? Sea Hollands?
Works as good as anything.
And they are they're very good with words, but words won't get them where they need to be.
Speaking of those writs, he's going to reach into his pouch. He's going to pass like a rolled up little parchment, and he's going to hand it. If you can, make copies of these or something like it. Have your people post them within the walls of Sea Hall. And then after you get word from us about the tower. And if does she open it up?
Yes, so she takes that from you and then she unrolls it.
So
Please say it's that picture of Uncle Sam going like this, but it's Eric saying, I want you to rise up.
As you know, the council's symbol is a hand, the right hand with the 5 fingers. And when she looks down, she'll see that it's the left hand, but it's missing the ring finger. So it's like a dark blood red, like very dark red, almost black handprint in the middle of the thing, but just with that finger missing, so you can tell it's the left hand.
Mm-hmm.
Make as many of these as you can and spread them around Sea Hall. Once you get word, I want him to know. I want the people there to know that I'm alive. Maybe it'll bring them some kind of hope.
Spreading propaganda of your own. And you want this posted after Xonthal's tower or before?
How long is it trip from here to Xonthal's tower? Would that have been brought up at all? A few days after we leave from the tower. I want to give them enough time to know, and I want enough time for him to be filling his pants with shit. But not enough time to mobilize more assassins. I don't want anyone else close to me getting hurt. I'm sure you know what happened to Bergnon's daughter.
I do indeed, yes.
I don't want anything like that to happen again. I want this to be hard, I want it to be fast.
Alright, I will.
I said that like almost so funny, but say it.
Don't read it. It's gonna
You're
burst.
gonna explode if you don't say it. Say it.
No, this is serious.
That's
Thank you. I was
It's
like,
never stopped me from ruining a serious scene.
that's what we do. This is my scene, and I put that out there just so somebody would fuck it up.
Yeah.
I can only be serious for so long. Curls up my neck.
I will speak to my people and ensure that the timing is on point.
And one last thing. I have personal reason to believe that there may be some sort of devil involved of the chain variety. Chain devil. Not demon. Chain devil.
What leads you to believe this?
Memories. His advisor before I left, I didn't know him well. Always had himself bedecked with chains and would always wear these golden ones. And I had heard word from Taterbrush about monsters and devils being within the walls of Sea Hall. So, he doesn't have all his gear with him, but he would instinctively reach back, like, to his pouch for that book to, like, tap it. And from everything I've read, it seems to be the case. I'd rather be prepared. So if you could have your people, and I know things are tight and times are tough, if there's any information that anybody could dig up on chain devils or other types of devils of that nature, I'd appreciate it.
We know a bit about the Chitons. They are, there are a lot of different factions involved in this particular issue. It's my understanding that Zariel, the archdevil that is in charge of overseeing Tiamat's capture, is not a fan of continuing that work. And so there are a lot, the Red Wizards of Thay, or a band of them that have broken off from the Red Wizards. Devils and demons, the cultists, mercenaries. So I am not surprised.
We came across some, I believe Val and Zan called them fiends of a type when we fought them within the manor.
Yes.
That's no surprise, yes.
Yes. The fact that the cultists summoned the devils tied everything together that we had kind of already started piecing. So I'm not surprised. Although whether this particular chain devil is involved in the cult itself, that I do not know. From everything that we have seen or heard, all sightings of this individual are of an elf with long blonde hair, male presenting, and he does wear chains, but very ornate blues and golds.
I remember gold.
Yes. We'll look into this.
Thank you. And I have no idea how all of this with Sea Hall will eventually shake down, and I personally have no intention on sitting on any kind of throne there. Well, that'll depend on what the people need. But I'm sure that should we come on top of this, your people, your organization will always have a friendly space there.
That is the hope.
I figured as much. But sometimes it's better to be above board with whoever runs the place instead of trying to lurk in the shadows.
Sometimes. She'll look at Zan with a smile.
And
As
just
well
kinda-
as you do.
Zan just kind of steps a little
Take
bit back
a
into the
second
shadow.
and shake under the table.
There are. What I can tell you is that there are numerous individuals that have come together. They have a particular idea of what they would like to see happen. When that kind of thing happens, there are always folks that come forward and say that they will do a better job, and there have been those. So, well, once you are done at the tower,
Yes. Well, maybe we can talk about that further. Although, step 1 is the tower, step 2 is Peter.
well, none of these are out of the realm of possibility, or nor are they overly complicated.
He'll also pull another roll.
One more thing.
One more thing, Jackie Chan Adventures. I got you. He'll pull out another thing, and it's got a list of I think 4 or 5 names, like descriptions where they might be, like the general locations of their establishments and all that stuff.
Okay.
And I'll hand that over to him.
She takes it, puts it down with the notes that she took on what you were asking. Do they know you as Trogdor, or do they know you as our Fireson?
Our fire zone. Trogdor is just an alias that I took on the spur of the moment. We didn't take the Burninator, right? Just so you know.
For an age, everybody knows what Trogdor is.
Smells. Val should be like, smells like email.
Yeah, I say that at certain pubs. The stairwell like smells like.
The cheat. That's what Charlie should have been here. Remember the cheat?
Yellow and spotted.
You can do a little light switch with Rave.
Yes.
Can we just? I don't want to do a Homestar Runner themed D&D party.
Get right in that homebrew.
Right,
I
it's
know, right?
Alfred.
Yeah.
So Remy looks at you both.
That's all I asked for.
All right, these I can set this in motion.
I appreciate it. He'll very deeply, like, military bow. Sort of.
Had you discussed when you would want to leave for the Xonthal's tower?
I don't believe we've discussed an exact time, but most likely as soon as we can.
Well, you let me know, and we can arrange it. It is, we have operatives there. Xonthal's tower is surrounded by a city, village, also called Xonthal's tower. He was a bit
Uncreative.
egotistical. To be fair, prior to his disappearance, mostly his own helpers, aides, lived in the village. But since he's disappeared, well, over 100 years ago now, there are 200, maybe 300 people who still live in that village just outside of the maze. Very troubling, but one thing to keep in mind, you will have to go through whatever it is that the cult did in order to get to the tower. Everything that I have read about it is there is a maze that you cannot fly over, you cannot teleport through unless you have already been to the tower and perhaps have teleportation circles there. That's the only way I can imagine that the cult is working out of it. Someone must have solved the riddle of the maze.
We're just gonna have to burn his maze down.
Do-
That's how this is gonna
do we
go. I'm
have-
telling you, I'm calling it now.
Is there any information of what is inside the maze?
No. Except that the villagers do not enter it. They have a gate in front to keep folks out. Who knows what is inside? Some kind of riddle. Typically, if a mage puts together something like that, it is to keep other mages and spellcasters out. They assume themselves better than those who are not of arcane ability, and so don't find any threat in those who cannot cast spells, and so it's very likely complicated and deadly if you are not equipped.
What's in store as far as transportation to Xonthal's tower?
We will transport you there via teleportation circle directly into the village. Leosin will reach you on the other side.
As usual, you get us there and we'll do what we can.
Of course. It will be a one-way. We don't have a permanent circle there. So arrangements to come back would have to be very intentional if you wanted to come back directly. You will be very close to where the Parnast village that you had taken off from the castle in the sky, Skyreach. Not, when I say very close, I mean closer than here. It's in the Green Peak Mountains. Everything comes back to that area.
So it's for transportation there, teleportation circle. For transportation back, it's on a run.
Not necessarily. Leosin will wait. We have allies there.
Understood. I just want to make that fast.
Mm-hmm. As do we.
Thank you for your time, your patience, and your understanding.
Of course.
Ark will turn to slowly back away. He doesn't know if Zan. He knows obviously that he's a Harper, but he doesn't know if they have Harper business. So he's he just
Zan will use his quiver to send Ark a message. Just give me a moment. I'll be right along.
Listen, Ark. He's used to it by now. Take a step outside. He has no idea where to go, so he's just gonna wait right outside the door.
There's a guard out there that you step out and they look and see that you come out, and then there's this awkward kind of where you're both kind of looking at each other.
Ark's definitely gonna size him up just because.
Yeah, it's another human. With the helmet, the plume, everything, the plume in Waterdavian colors, and they're a guard, but it's ornate.
And he mistakes him for
I won't do my know thy enemy.
Doing all sorts of stuff in his face.
I'm just picturing a Skyrim NPC guard. Yeah, I used to be an adventurer like you.
What do you call it? Did you lose your sweet roll? That guy.
They actually just stand there and whatever you're doing, after they have nodded in your direction that you are exiting the room, they just stand and do that thing that they're supposed to do.
So Ark's all dented armor, all well used, scratched and scruffed, and
they've got their spear.
He's just gonna lean. He's gonna, nice boots. He's just gonna lean against the wall.
There's no reaction.
You're taunting the deadliest guy in 5 kingdoms.
I could use my I have a thing where
they actually look very young. It's probably a youngish
He's not
guy.
So did Achilles.
Size him up.
All right.
Okay. I'll use my I have know your enemy, which is if I spend a minute.
Oh yeah.
Interacting, I get
Rage Against the Machine starts playing.
I get to know his level or HP or whatever. I don't even know if I have it on here.
Level 18.
I know, right? Yeah.
Valgard has to go.
If he's above me in levels, if
dinner. He'll be back.
I actually have to use the restroom again because I have.
Yeah, no, he's he's a CR half.
CR half?
Yeah.
I don't know what any of that means.
He's got 16 hit points.
Oh. Keep
He's
it up.
young.
Keep it up, kid. You're doing great.
He just
Just did he smile?
Little smile.
He's got like that.
You
It's
doing-
welling up like, oh my god, where are the thumbs? Knows who I am.
Doing great.
So what is that?
Just like. Doing great.
I hope I wasn't out of line earlier.
You definitely were, but the dwarves, Conrad specifically,
He's going to get a lot of people killed.
We cannot rely on the dwarves to join us. And there are some concessions that you just must make and some that don't go in your favor, and there's still time to win him over. His dislike for you personally is not likely to cloud his judgment. He's a very passionate individual, but ultimately he knows what he must do. And if he decides not to apologize, that is his decision to make.
Sounds like you have a much harder job than I have ahead of me. I'll get going.
Yes.
I didn't hear what you said.
Hmm?
On the side of the table, can't hear anything you just said.
Oh, I just said Remy has a harder job to do than Zan.
Oh, okay. I was just letting you know because I could hear like the bass to like the.
Everyone can hear me. The mic's right here.
I need to know.
She said, yes. Sometimes I miss being out in the field doing the work instead of sitting here talking. But we all have our roles to play.
Aye.
Don't feel bad about yelling at Conrad.
I don't.
He gives it, he takes it. That's what she said.
On the wall.
Ain't nothing wrong.
Thank you.
All right. So back in the room. Anything you wanted to do?
About smelling those fumes. We've got knocked out.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think there's anything I wanted to do.
So did that burn completely?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you don't know.
Let's see, because if there was a little three-fingered claw in there, how do people miss that?
I mean, the fire's
Abaddon has
still
been
going.
feeding
It's-
that fire since she got
It
back.
is wintertime, the fire's still
Shooting
going,
fire
you
from
know,
her head.
Just
going
the
into it.
second no one's looking, that tail is picking up more wood and just hacking that fireplace.
They'll never know.
So you all reconvene in the keep. Arwell, you will have your own room, which is they're all very simple rooms, a bed. The bed is a bit small, but honestly, this is not something that you are unfamiliar with having happened to you. Most beds are made for a typical humanoid, like human.
Fur bulbs sleep standing up, or do they lay
I'm
down?
not naked.
What? What was that? You want to see what naked is? That what you said? I don't know if it's what you said, but it's what I'm going with.
Fair enough. Sorry. Go on.
Arwa likes to sleep just like snuggled up in a little ball so that their feet don't hang off the end. 'Cause
Just Charlie.
I just imagine because they are
They
like.
still go with Charlie?
You showed us a picture. Aren't they kind of cow-like?
They're
A little bit.
They are fae, so they're not like a cow.
I know they're not
but
a cow. They're not like a minotaur, but
No,
they kind of
yeah.
look that way.
They're like a
it's
giant.
It's a
and
You have a
humanoid.
picture?
A humanoid
Let's
with
see the
like.
picture.
Okay, yeah, we gotta see the picture.
Picture a 7-foot tall humanoid with floppy ears and like a swoosh nose.
Yeah.
Cow person, like a fey elf.
They've got the like.
They might not like
sing-
through them.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh.
That's such a cow person. I want to
And they
squish
have
his.
like a wider.
I want to
no,
squish this little baby cow nose. Don't you just want to squish? Definitely. Ira's going to assume, just not say anything, but he's going to assume that she locks her knees and stands sitting. That's what I'm going with.
Okay.
I don't
You
know
are
what
brought
cows
meal
like.
like a meal. You guys all can like sit and eat together for the night. is there anything you wanted to do before you go to bed?
I'm just gonna check out that dragon scale armor if no one else has touched it.
Yes. So all of these require attunement, so you would have to like put it on, hang out with it.
He'll actually go through all the armor and weapons or arrowheads, and he's got his eye on the dragon one, but he's gonna take his time and like almost meditatively like clean it all meticulously, just so before whoever grabs whatever.
Okay.
He's a blacksmith like by trade, like that's family blacksmith, so that's what he does. Yeah, so he's gonna take all the stuff and like really get in there and just clean it all so it's nice and beautiful.
Okay.
So we'll spend an hour, a couple hours doing that.
All right. Anyone else? No.
No, Abaddon's pooped.
All right.
She just wants
Putting
to
on the
get it.
dragon scale armor. Just
Abaddon, as you're sitting there, watching out for Charlie, like trying to catch glimpses of him, and watching Arik cleaning the armor.
Is the fire still going?
Yes,
Yeah.
because it's winter, you kind of would like, keep it going.
Did anyone open a window?
Yes, the windows
Okay.
would have been open.
Couldn't remember. if
But
somebody
also,
opened
it's a little bit strange. Like, it's wintertime, you have a fire going, and the windows are open. So,
it. Did the smoke go down?
the smell does go down, but there's just that little,
It's
like,
in
you
the
catch a
carpet.
little, yeah, you
It's
like,
like a motel.
well,
Or it's like you
well-
know who just stayed. You just smell it. It's like it's in the
make
carpet.
a, so, Arik, make a,
Oh, shit.
make
Is this the first roll? Is this
an
the first roll? Nice.
investigation
A straight.
check. Since you asked that question, it's like in the carpet.
Because I have a +3 to investigation now, so this is like a big deal for me.
If you find me out, I'm gonna get pissed.
I'm not gonna. I'm still
I'm
gonna
just
roll like a 4. A 7. 7 + 3 is for a 10.
Okay.
I don't know
While
shit,
you're while you are, it takes you a couple of hours to clean up all this stuff, and so there is a moment where you're like really cleaning, but then you kind of zone out a little bit. It's like a mixture of like being really intent and then also zoning out in moments. And in one moment while you're cleaning, you kind of like glance up and you see a little stain on the ground that is on the carpet, which is like a little bit strange because you kind of like look around for a moment and everything else is very clean in here. It's simple.
Is it by the fire?
Clean. It's not, no, it's not by the fire. It's like closer to almost like the door. Closer to the middle of the room.
Well, I'll check it out. I'll stand
Head
up and
over.
go over to it, and I'm gonna do the classic, like, he doesn't know what it is, but he's still gonna do the parent, as a
Yeah. Get
your
down
kids.
and
So I'm gonna do like the, like that. You have to like, what is this? What did I just step into? What's in the kids? He's gonna do like the 3 finger.
Yep. So
And
when you
that's
do
it?
that, after
Whoa!
well,
That's shit. Fuck.
as you head over to it, and you like dab your finger at Abaddon, you see Arik heading over.
Why?
And that is where the smell, like it's there, but not the burning. It's like, it's not the burning smell. It's the underlying tones of what was burning.
I so badly want to be like, Abaddon, did you shit on the carpet?
Ask me.
No.
Ask me.
No, but he is gonna like look around.
Ask me.
And you will look up
And
and
he
you
does
see,
not want to stereotype.
You see,
But his
Abaddon.
eyes are immediately gonna go like over to the fur ball.
Arwell, what are you doing?
Wow.
He says,
Wow.
Well, I don't know what you know about furballs, but
no,
Arwell
he knows nothing about fur ball.
is very put off by the smell, but is far too polite to say anything. They're like, I'm new here, and I don't want to like ruffle any feathers. Like maybe this is new. I mean, this is like normal for them.
It's not.
Um,
The shenanigans are the
Like,
same.
you see Arik go over, and you, I mean, whoever's in this common area can see Arik go over and do the, and then he looks up at you.
He. Okay. Abaddon's just gonna be watching. Like, kind of sleeping, but kind of watching. She's tired.
He didn't like stare. He just like looked like, oh, don't know how to bring this up to The tall one.
Arwell's gonna put Charlie on their shoulder and kind of like, now that they've seen someone acknowledge what's there, they feel like comfortable enough to be like, what you looking at?
I've got to be honest, Arwell, I have no fucking idea. All I know is that it is awful. And he's gonna just, with no manners, just kind of do like the, because he touched it. Like,
Holds it up to your mouth.
like because you're so tall that he's.
And it smells like an egg that was left in a backpack for several days, was cracked
Really on the nose.
open, and like pieces of it leaked out, and there was probably a half-formed creature
This egg
inside
was the
that
size of a
also
medicine
rotted.
ball, like a beach ball. This wasn't like a goose egg.
It
This
smells
was an egg.
like a
Do you have the egg, the green one? Oh, it's back there.
Abaddon's gonna close her eyes and pretend to be asleep.
Are you gonna snore?
Yep. Just like a little, just
Roll a deception check. Oh,
I thought
12.
I thought it was gonna be a 1. I was really hoping.
I did too.
She's so
I've been rolling. That was
Just
2
sleep
really
apnea.
low
So-
rolls already.
the two of you look over and you see, oh yeah, you don't, Arwell right away with your passive insight of 19. You look over and you see Abaddon
Good luck
is like,
lying.
it's like very obvious that she is not sleeping on that couch or whatever. Like, and Arik, you actually notice too, like there's suddenly a loud snore that was unnecessary, and you look over and Abaddon is snoring. But then every once in a while you see her eye pop open and she looks at you.
I'm so sorry. What the fuck?
It's too real.
I know. I'm like, this is her. That's exactly what she would do. Just, I don't know either.
Like what my 4-year-old does when he says he's asleep.
Ooh, I'm really not awake.
And with your passive insight, you get the impression that Abaddon is acting strangely.
Again, Arwell doesn't want to be rude, but they're gonna see if they might be able to they're gonna say, "Oh, it's too bad Abaddon's asleep because Charlie's got to do his bedtime routine." It's pretty cute, Eric.
Yeah.
It's an actual routine. There's some jumps.
Ooh, like through hoops?
One eye is gonna open.
Do you feed snacks like a bedtime snack?
Oh yes, he usually gets hungry and he's a little grouchy, and I've got a tiny little toothbrush.
Oh, I was having
Her
the
heart melted away.
strangest dream. I was having the strangest dream, and but I woke up. How's Charlie? What does he do at nighttime?
It's funny you should ask. It's perfect timing.
Oh, tell me
While
what
you're
is it?
here,
Yeah.
I have a question about the floor
Oh,
and this.
it's so smelly. It's so weird, but I don't know really what happened because we went shopping, and I can show you what we bought. I went with Zan.
Zan, where are you?
He's a really good
While she sings.
friend.
Sam is off in his room.
Oh, okay.
Just kind of reflecting on.
Okay, he's not.
The
with you
smell.
guys. So you're good. I was gonna say if he was in the room, then you might have, but you're fine. Continue.
I'm good. We'll see.
Oh, holy
It might be
hell's
a group,
woman, what
a
did you
group
buy?
deception going on. No, you're okay.
Well, no, we went shopping and we bought so many things. I'll have to show you what we bought. But then when we got back, it was really smelly, and I don't know what happened on the rug. It looks like. Did you find the spot where it's so smelly?
Yeah, it's right there. It's
Is
just
it a
gonna point
rug,
right
like
in
a
front
big
of her.
rug, like a?
No,
is it
like
like
a-
a? It's a stain. Is it a big rug?
It's like a rug that fills almost the room, and you had dropped everything. Remember,
But
like
if-
you
if
laid
it was-
stuff out.
yeah.
And,
I was gonna
Which is
try to
like-
burn it.
I know, just.
Yeah, you
I
did.
love how
The
you
rug?
tell
You
your
tried
mom, 'cause
to.
you're- I love the way you set that up.
I
Like,
think you had
It's gonna be
something
bad.
underneath that you rolled up, but it sank. It went.
but what
through.
happened? You
Just
know?
have questions.
You just
But
have
I can't burn
questions.
the rug.
You
itself.
cannot. No.
We're in the
Unless I
we're in the
cut
trust
out the
tree
Yeah,
right
you would
now.
have to.
Okay.
And by now it's probably soaked through to whatever's on.
To the
Like
floor.
might be wood floor, might be
Oh,
stone.
we're so not getting back our deposit. Abaddon, what did you do?
I didn't do anything, but maybe we could go shopping again and I could find some perfume or something or some incense. Hey, wait, I wonder if there's any incense in this room and I could light it and then nobody would really notice the smell anymore. What time does Charlie go to bed?
Charlie can't go to bed because it smells so bad. It's keeping him awake and he's going to get grouchy.
Abaddon is going to start looking through the shelves to see if there's any incense. Is there anything like an area like that that looks like...
Yeah, there's
You know what I
like
mean?
random like knickknacks around, and when you go through one of the drawers and one of the things, there's like some smelly stuff. You find like 2 incense sticks. You have no idea what they're gonna smell like.
Okay. So I'll grab this. Look what I found. This is perfect. I bet Charlie will sleep right through the smell now. I know Zan is too because he's already in bed. So I'll light these up and then we'll be fine. And we can brush Charlie's teeth. So she'll light them.
She does. It smells like lavender, burning lavender.
And shit.
I was going to throw a questioning look over at Arwell. Like, he's now annoyed that his hand smells like this shit. And he's just annoyed, and he just throws a look over at Arwell that says, like, and then back, like good luck. He's just gonna like shake his head and just like walk away and sit down, and he's gonna take his what he uses to like clean the metal, and he's just gonna pour it onto his hand. He doesn't care if it's slightly acidic. He's just pouring it on, and like it's like using gasoline to like get off, like as a solvent to get something.
Yeah.
And he's just gonna just watch this play out. He's not far. He's still only like this.
Yeah,
He's
in the
sitting
room.
there just like.
Right.
Yeah, I just threw you into it. I just totally did.
Arwell is going to pull out a little bag of little pellets for Charlie. And where is Abaddon?
As close as she can be to and the guinea pig. Okay. So incense is lit. Maybe
Yeah.
set
And
like
there's a
right
sitting
down
area,
on the.
like in this common area. Yeah.
Is it like a little cone or whatever? I'm gonna
Sure.
put it right where the smell is.
Okay. Put it down on the
Just
floor.
On the floor.
It's gonna immediately fizzle and go out when you light it because it's like a puddle. It's like a wet rug. It's gonna smell worse.
The mixy smell.
She's gonna cut it out later, so don't worry. It'll be fine.
You ever go to like somebody's grandmother's house that you don't really know, and there's that cacophony of fucking scents and
Yeah, lots
smells
of different smells.
that all hit you at once, and they just like you know individually, like even 2 or 3 at a time, those scents would be like, oh that's nice, but all of them at once is like a fucking knockout punch.
Bath and Body Works.
That's what Arik is. Oh, my friend's grandmother's house. It smells terrible.
So Arwell is going to kind of beckon her to come like sit down, and then on the couch, put Charlie between them, and she's gonna hand her some. They're gonna hand her some pellets and say, "So, if I'm going to be spending a lot of time with you all now, it would be helpful to know if the smell is always everywhere, or if it's just here today."
Okay, Abaddon's gonna get onto the floor and like be eye level with Charlie, who's sitting on the couch, and she'll just be like that and put a pellet in front of his face so that Charlie will eat it, hopefully. And
Animal handling check.
oh, okay. I've never done that one ever.
I kind of want to see everyone get bit by this little.
So
turtle.
Don't.
do you roleplay Charlie?
Oh my God.
You can do it.
Oh no, it's a 3.
Just a
Charlie's
straight
gonna
three.
hate me.
It's just a straight 3.
See, I don't want him to hate you forever. I just wanted you to get nipped.
I think it's
Because
gonna
you're a
happen.
liar.
I don't know. I'm just asking.
Nope. Feel free. Yeah. If you have an idea who Charlie is, feel free.
What did you do before you rolled a 3?
I with Charlie on the couch, Abaddon's on the floor, just like trying to be at eye level with Charlie, and give it a pellet.
Charlie's like,
Charlie's gonna let out a low-pitched
Abaddon
and then turn.
smacked him in the face with a pellet.
eat it!
And then he's gonna turn on his little heel and just like lay it down with like his butt's facing. And Arl says, "I'm sorry. He's really slow to warm up to new people. Unfortunately, we've met a lot of unsavory folks in our time, and it takes him a while to trust new people."
She'll let out a big sigh and give Arwell the pellet back and just say, I understand you. You know, usually when I meet someone new, I get pretty nervous around them too, but I really like them, and then usually they like me back. Sometimes it takes a little while, but I love them in the end, and they love me. And but it really doesn't smell that bad all the time. This was just a weird day, I think. But like I said, I would go get some perfume, or, you know, I'll fix it later. I'm thinking maybe they should get a new rug for this place. Maybe I'll find them a new rug for this place.
You play the rambling child so good. I'm like astounded.
Rambling 20-year-old.
But she's she's been sheltered most of her life,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
it
yeah.
works
She
so
was
well.
alone all of her life. Maybe we could go shopping tomorrow, you and me and Charlie, and we could find a new rug so that we can get rid of this rug, or maybe we'll just cut the piece out that's really bad and then we could burn that, and then we'll put a new rug down. It would be perfect. When does Charlie go to bed?
You're gonna hear Arik just go. Because he's still in the room.
Arik, do you want to try to feed Charlie? Arik's really nice.
He says again, gonna look at Arik.
I don't have a best friend, but sometimes Dan is my best friend, and sometimes Arik is my best friend.
Arik will just, because he knows it will make Abaddon happy. You'll see him just like, okay, you know. Even though he's only 30 and he has no children of his own, he's just like, okay. And he'll ask Arlo, man,
Charlie's like senses what's going on and kind of walk around.
so he's gonna like take it. If this is Charlie. He's gonna like take it and just kind of like, good, Charlie, good.
He's gonna
Charlie.
roll an animal handling check.
I believe for me it's a straight 0 also.
Good luck.
Do you want to use my lucky dice today?
It's a 0. It's a 6. It's
Ooh.
when the line's on the bottom, right? So
Charlie doesn't even look over his shoulder.
it's okay. That's why he pushed it over, and he's just like it.
He's gonna
Sorry.
tentatively creep, but like very suspiciously looking at you. And he's like, grab it and move away really fast.
Good, Charlie. Does he understand speech?
Charlie glares at him. Yes, of course. He understands everything.
I feel like that takes some practice. I'm from a land that magic isn't as common as in the Sword Coast. So, I'm sorry, Charlie. Very awkwardly apologizes to the gerbil. Have a good night,
It is
Charlie.
a guinea pig.
What is it? Gerbil? I'm sorry, guinea pig.
Abaddon will throw another, lots of logs onto the fire and kind of like curl up in a chair.
Okay.
And Arik's probably gonna He's gonna like give a nod to everybody and like we'll figure this out. we'll figure this out, but I'm tired. And he's gonna take his things, I guess, and pack up and go to his room.
Okay.
Good night, everybody.
Abaddon, as you're curling up in the chair and like kind of peeking up to look at Charlie every once in a while, you do have a moment before you go to sleep that you're watching and then your eyes kind of look down at the puddle or where it was, the wet spot, the drying spot on the floor, and then over to the fireplace.
Swap that real quick.
It's drying. And there's, like, it starts to race through these thoughts, thoughts of, I haven't heard from her. I wonder if she thinks that I'm dead. I mean, I was dead, and so that would really work out if she... And just the fact that you haven't heard from Lenathon since you came back is the final thing that you think about. Little, like, flutter in the chest of that unknowing and that lack of clarity on whether she knows you're alive. And
Is it
if
like
she finds
nervous
out,
feeling? No, probably. Alright.
if she finds out, will she do anything? Has she done anything? You didn't meet her. Did she go visit your family? Because if you died, then you promised her something. Would she be angry? All of those thoughts go through your head before you finally go to
Peaceful sleep.
I need closure.
What is the dragon?
And with that, we are going to take a break because food is here. Don't forget to enter into the giveaway exclamation point ticket, and we will be back.
Call and response. And then you did it.
We'll be back in about, we'll say like 20, 30 minutes. 20 minutes. We'll go for the 20. All right.
Pizza truck come at 10 o'clock. Gotta eat pizza.
All right, folks, we are back. We are back. Missing an Abaddon. But
Sorry, all you guys are gonna have to look at it as me. I
Yep,
apologize. Am I centered at least?
you are.
We need to reinflate Boris so we could put him in her seat.
Oh, we had to deflate Boris. Boris has to go up there. Overlooking, supervising the game.
So now it is giveaway time. I did my giveaway beautiful bean footage. So we're doing two giveaways for those of you who have just joined us. Don't forget to type exclamation point ticket to enter into the giveaway for tonight. And then we are about to draw the winner of our May giveaway because we did not draw that person for our almost critical. And I will put this in the chat, almost critical dice. So don't forget that you can use the code NAT30s for 15% off all of your almost critical purchases on their website, almostcritical.com.
Beautiful
Alright.
dice.
Beautiful, absolutely gorgeous dice. I don't have the dice, so in the past, I was having her send the dice to me so that I could touch them and feel them and look at them with my own eyes. But
You'd be mad that you can't keep them.
I'd be
because
mad
they're
that I
fucking
couldn't
beautiful.
keep them because they were gorgeous.
I was wondering like why I haven't seen them in like a
But
while.
it started to make more sense, I thought, if I'm paying for the shipping cost. I'm paying her the shipping cost and then she would ship them to me and then I would pay again to send them to the person, even just so I could touch them physically. And that didn't make financial sense. So instead,
So you need her to make a double set.
yeah.
So she can send one to them and one to you.
Damn dude, your head is shiny as hell.
Look at me, I'm bald and sweaty. What do you
It's
want?
just like
I'm bald and I am sweating fucking bullets. All right, look at this fucking.
So, first, oh yeah, a bearded fortress. Nice to see you. We're happy to be back and happy you're here with us. All right,
F's
so
in the chat for my fucking self-confidence.
But they can all see it.
our winner of our May. Nope, I'm gonna do these dice first. So these dice, okie dokie dice. These are the exclamation point ticket dice for tonight. They are marble black, 7 dice RPG set, official okie dokie. Thank you to Evil Ed for donating these to us to give away for this evening. So
Don't hold my head.
we are going to choose a winner. We don't have too many people. Okay, I was gonna say it says 0 people. There's a 50% chance. We only have 2 people. No, what's his face? Just enter. Hold on. Let's refresh this. I just said hello to Bearded Force. Okay, so a 33% chance that you win. All right, folks.
Gamershare is sending cool breezes your way.
Cool breezes my way. That's right. To take the shine off the head, I had to throw the glasses on.
All right, we are going to close the
As
giveaway.
awesome as
Is
these
there
dice can,
anybody
those
else
men
who
that
wants
we
to
can't-
enter
that we
into the
can't join
giveaway?
the giveaway.
Exclamation point ticket. If not, I'm closing it right now.
Right.
Right now.
Yeah, I just ate
And we are
stuff.
drawing a winner. It's going to show up in the chat. And that winner is That Gamer Share. Sorry, I
Killing
was
it.
thrown off for a second because I didn't see your name. I was like, wait, I didn't, but no, it's right there. So, congratulations, That Gamer Share. You have won the Okie Dokie dice, and I will send these to you. I'm pretty sure I have your address already, so I will send it.
They're
all right.
awesome. I have a set. And the box is a cool little dice holding set.
Oh,
Like,
yes.
It like slides. It doesn't like open up, so it like slides out.
Oh, okay.
So it's cool. They won't like accidentally open if you accidentally drop it.
Oh, nice. Awesome. So, there you go. Also, Shadows Fairy or Pixie won the Headless Horseman mini from last night's game, so I have that right over there, and we'll be sending it as soon as I have a
I
box.
saw that.
I kept walking
Didn't
past
and
it,
I
I'm like,
didn't ask what it was because I was afraid. I was like, she's gonna. If I asked, she's gonna go.
I'll go get it. I'll get
Don't
it.
worry about it. And then it's gonna come up in like 3 months and kill us.
Well, don't take a deep look behind me.
Oh, I already did.
I have some
When I
here
look at
as
you
well,
three, it's
back there.
basically a filter, like that blur filter behind when you're on Skype. So I can't
Those
see
are
it.
not all of the minis because the ones that matter are hidden from your view. So this is the Headless Horseman
those are just
from
sunglasses.
Bloody Scotsman
Yeah.
Games Devil and Sleepy Hollow game that we played,
It's so
or
cool.
that was played last night. It's metal too. It's not a plastic.
Oh,
mini.
serious?
It's nice. It's got some weight.
Pass it around.
Pass it around.
Oh,
Everybody's
wow.
touching your mini. Sorry.
Wow, that is so. That's such a different feel for
Yeah.
a mini with it made out of
Some
metal.
of the minis back there are metal, but
That's so cool.
that's what I used to play with back in the
Yeah,
day.
it's like you don't expect it to weigh as much as it does once you handle it.
All right, so now we are going to announce who won our Almost Critical May dice. And I already have the winner's
That
name
looks like Jack's
right up
present
in front
as
of
well.
me. We will be doing we're going to play
No
next
worries about breaking this
Sunday.
fucking thing when you drop it.
Yeah.
Right? You gotta watch out for your floor.
Right? No, yeah, you do. For sure.
You could
I have
especially- I was
dropped
gonna say, watch
metal
out for
minis
that-
on my
that
feet
sword.
in the past.
If you, like this is like something out of a CSI episode when they're like, oh, an unidentified puncture behind the ear, and you just have this. Like you really could just. Ooh.
So, drum roll. It is metal, yes. I think so. Okay, our winner is Makeshift Router.
Alright.
Oh, cool.
Congrats.
That's somebody
That's
new.
a
but
new
nice.
name.
Makeshift Router, yes, the
Newbie.
new winner. They're not in chat at the moment, but I will message them
Come on
and make
down.
sure that I mark down.
Makeshift router.
Alright, let me just mark this down. Makeshift Router. Congratulations, Makeshift Router has won our May dice. And the
Which one were the May
June
dice?
dice are right underneath me right now.
Which one were the May dice? Were those the spring ones?
They were kind of multicolored, I think.
I'm gonna have to look. I don't remember.
That's why you were saying May
It's
dice?
been 2 months.
That's why you're saying
Yeah.
May dice?
The May dice. I don't remember the name of it or anything like that. I don't think it was Springtide. She did send them to me.
What
She was
that?
asking.
Springtide
who
might have
won.
been the April ones.
Yeah. So this set is underneath me right now, or was, and that one is the June dice, which are rainbow colored for Pride. So,
Nice.
all right, back to our game.
Is Abaddon actually sleeping now?
Well, I was gonna skip to the morning. So, did you want to leave the following morning? Like any more shopping anybody needs to do?
I needed to like brew or concoct the potions.
Right, didn't you get that started a little bit ago?
I got all the ingredients when we went shopping.
Oh, okay, so you were starting it that night.
I think it takes
A cou-
8
a
hours.
couple of hours. Yeah, so that's fine.
So-
I thought I had already told you how many you would get done.
Oh, I don't remember.
Okay.
And
I-
that,
I-
sorry.
I wanted like at least one potion of healing, and then I think I said like antitoxin,
Okay.
and there's something else, but it's been so long I don't remember.
You should write it down.
I should.
So you get to have one potion of healing and one antitoxin. You also will have a point of exhaustion, because if you're doing that and you guys are leaving the next day, then you can't possibly have slept.
That red dragon scale that I would end
Yeah.
up putting on, do you want me to look for
Yeah,
it
you
on
can
here?
find it on
Yeah,
there.
Oh, I
is
looked and I couldn't find the spiky one.
Yeah, the spiked armor with radiance resistance isn't in D&D Beyond.
It is not. It should be, because it's an SRD item.
Yeah, you can. It's real difficult sometimes to find. Like even if you type it.
I
on
saw
the
a bunch of different spiked armors, but none that had radiant resistance.
Okay. If it's not there, then we'll add it after. I'll just let you know what it
you can
does.
just literally
I'll-
just drop it in.
I can put it in
character.
your own your stuff.
DM
Basically,
privileges.
you have resistance to radiant damage. Your AC is going to be 14 plus your dex for a maximum of 2. So, okay. So your armor class, the armor right there where it says 15,
Yeah.
I believe, it is 14 plus your dex bonus. So if you go to your dexterity right there on the side,
-1, but then there's an 8.
okay.
Yes.
So you, I don't know that it's going to actually change your AC. Your AC is probably going to stay 15.
But is it a what, magical armor?
It is. So you have resistance to radiant damage. And that's it.
Sounds good.
Yeah, for some reason, it's weird. It's like I selected it, but it's not adding. I don't know if it's because I have a badge.
Did you equip it?
I can't even find it in my inventory.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll add it afterwards.
Yeah. I just wanted to know what it did. So because if
It's
is it medium? As you said, it was medium.
It's
armor.
medium armor. It's made of the scales of a red dragon. It is. This is just saying. Sometimes dragons collect their cast-off scales and gift them to humanoids. Other times, hunters carefully skin and preserve the hide of a dead dragon. In either case, the dragon's scale mail is highly valued. While wearing this armor, you gain a +1 bonus to AC. You have advantage on saving throws against the frightful presence and breath weapons of dragons.
Oh shit! Okay.
And you
all
have-
dragons.
Yes.
Oh,
And you
Just
have
take it off next time we see the metallic dragons.
and
it's a
So if I like
it's for the
14.
frightful presence. Oh
Well,
my god.
because it's already
I
there,
don't know what it
you're
is.
just 15.
And you have
But
resistance to
whatever
fire
the other
damage.
armor is,
Oh,
it
okay,
takes
awesome.
whatever that is.
Additionally,
Because you have a minus
you
to
can
your
focus
dexterity,
your senses as an action to magically discern the distance and direction to the closest red dragon within
your
30
dexterity
miles
plus
of you.
11
Oh, wow, that's really
as
neat.
opposed to 10.
Okay, cool.
And you can only use it
Your
once
armors
a
are
day.
14.
Once a day. Awesome.
And then
You have
it's just
disadvantage
gonna be
on
like
stealth checks.
+2 or
I have disadvantage on stealth checks with the medium armor.
With this
With
armor.
that.
Yep.
Uh, So for some reason, it just
Yeah,
doesn't
we'll-
want to add.
We'll add them. I have the whole thing.
I know
right
it's
here.
just because of the way it's.
Oh, okay.
If you look for scan,
I can find it. It's just when I literally go to equipment,
20.
it says that it added it.
5, 12.
Oh, okay.
I was
Never
wondering
mind.
what that is, the numbers in the circle.
Maybe I must have
So,
fucked that
so
up, sorry.
basically the modifiers of the most important card, that's where it changes.
So yeah, he's gonna just put that on.
Certain
Okay.
skills,
You can just into it.
certain,
what kind of armor can you wear?
I
Me?
can.
No, sorry, Val.
Oh, I think up to medium, but I wasn't going to change
stuff
armor.
for dexterity.
Okay.
So, like normally.
All right.
What I'm wearing
check,
gives me a +2 to my AC, I think.
And then like.
And I need all the AC I can get.
Proficient in it, so you're
Oh,
like
welcome.
already.
Yeah, I have studded leather
So
+2.
right now, our
So,
proficiency is 4.
and anything higher than that gives me disadvantage on stealth checks, which
Plus whatever.
I was tired of that shit when I was Erdnop, but I was okay with her tank.
Yeah.
So for insight, it would be like +4 and +9.
All right.
No, just because it's already doing it for you here. It's your wisdom just +5 plus 4 because you're efficient.
And then that's
So this is just like the quick sheet, so you don't have to do that math. But it's just that's how they generate those numbers. It's based on whatever your ability scores are.
And that's why you said I'm in a good spot, because it's both.
See, this is the part I can play make believe all day, but I don't know how to.
I don't know
And
how
the
to do that
math,
shit
I don't
works.
know what to do.
Does it automatically on the interwebs.
Yeah, I'll say you guys can attune. You'll attune to whichever items you decide to.
You can only
It was
attune to
mostly-
3 items.
Yes, you can only attune to 3, but that
That's
shouldn't be a
tough.
problem. All right, so the following day, you are ready to go. The room smells less bad as you come out into the keep's common area. Looking outside, it is a nice clear day here in Waterdeep. There's still that like kind of crisp air that's coming in through the open windows. The fire went out, and so it is a little bit chillier than like you come in and you're like, whew, somebody should have closed those windows. But then also remembering the smell, probably not the worst idea. You have all of your stuff gathered and are escorted down through the keep. You do not. You're escorted by the guards. You don't end up seeing anybody from the actual council today. But they bring you down to a room that you are not overly familiar with. It is an enclosed room, stone entirely, no windows. Not quite on the level that you remember traversing down the steps to where they were being held while they were recovering or dead and then recovering. So unclear how many levels of basement this place may have.
I had asked them for any potions of healing that they could give to us, and for crossbow bolts and bolts.
Crossbow.
Crossbow
Don't
bolts.
get your nuts twisted.
Still
Crossbow.
at it.
Did they provide any of those?
Yeah, the crossbow bolts you can have however many you'd like.
I think I needed to replenish.
So we can
20.
do like a. We can
I have
do all
I have 2 containers, 40.
Yeah, if you need
full,
more-
so I think I used 20
Okay.
up.
Yep, that kind of stuff's simple. The healing potions they don't have. They give you a superior healing.
Stinky bastards.
Yeah, they are gathering armies for the battle. So
Then I'll make it on the road.
so you have a potion of healing that you made and an antitoxin, but as mentioned, you also have 1 point of exhaustion. Okay.
At what point did I have 62 fucking crossbow bolts? Holy
Because you
shit.
used to use your crossbow.
I know, but I don't remember. I remember always picking up stuff. Like,
Mm.
at one point, I think I had like 6 daggers and like 4 hand axes.
Yeah, I couldn't.
I
pick
still
up a
have
lot of
5
my
hand
cross-
axes
like
and
we
2
were-
daggers.
I think half of them I shot when we were on the back of the dragon.
So you end up
Just
in
so Val knows.
in a windowless room, and there is a spellcaster in that room, just kind of nondescript, looks like an acolyte of some kind for something. When you come in, they are just finishing up drawing the transportation circle on the ground, on the stonework ground with chalk, and they have definitely been notified that you were ready to go, and we're getting everything ready. So they just kind of look up at you and say, "Are you ready?"
I believe we are.
Yes, we are.
Have you done this before? The last time we did it, did it suck last time we did it? Or am I thinking of the game that we did where the transportation with our access got lost? I can't
I
remember.
think it was that. I mean, it doesn't feel great
Okay.
when you're doing the transportation. It
I know
kind of
we've
feels
done
like
it a
you're
few
being
times. I can't
sucked
remember.
through, you know.
But it didn't make
Harry
us.
only got lost because.
But it didn't make
playing.
us sick, right?
No, it doesn't make you sick.
Okay, sorry. For some
No.
reason, I thought somebody threw up. Have you done this
No,
before?
you've done several.
Have I done this before?
I don't know. Have you done it before?
No.
Feels like you jump, but your stomach still stays up here. So, fair warning.
Trail mix.
Maybe I'll wait till we get there.
It's a little uncomfortable, but you get used to it.
And as you finish having this conversation, the
You get
wizard,
used to it.
the wizard finishes up their incantation. You see the chalk is suddenly a light, this kind of bright yellow, and they are chanting. And as they're finishing, they look at you and nod. You all step into the circle. You feel that like being pulled, but also staying still feeling that's impossible to really describe, where you're here, but then suddenly you're being sucked
It's like a-
through.
Like a roller coaster at fucking light speed.
Yeah.
On Harry Potter, they describe it as like feeling like you're getting pulled like through your belly button.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of close to what I've had. It's gross
And-
as hell.
When you emerge, you're just kind of like, whew, and suddenly you are in a similar looking space.
Gary showed me the
Except,
Galaxy Quest. It was a hell of a thing.
except there are windows in this room, and it takes you all a moment to just reorient yourself. But you are in a very lightly decorated home, like a bedroom with no bedroom furniture in it. There are windows with like very generic curtains hanging from them, but standing in front of you as you step through is not Leosin, but instead a familiar Harper that you have not seen since Waterdeep many months ago when you rescued him from the ground.
The guy who was in the
Oathbreaker,
dirt.
smeared
One night.
in.
Everyone told Zan, just fucking leave him. Just leave
Arik
him.
didn't. Arik helped you dig him up, and he was like, "This better be fucking worth it."
You said, are you
And-
sure this is the right idea? Everybody said don't do it.
And Carlon is standing there, and when he sees you, big smile on his face. His hair has started to grow in a little bit. It had been shaved, but it started to grow in, and it's got like a little bit of a light curl. Human.
What was written on his
Better
face? Like
dressed.
Oathbreaker or
Yeah,
something?
Oathbreaker.
That's why Erdnot didn't want to rescue him. This dwarf would see someone with Oathbreaker dug into the ground up to their neck. They're like, oh, it's Oathbreaker. I didn't touch you, that shit.
So when you step through the circle and have a moment to acclimate, and you see his face, he just comes over and gives one of those like big hug.
Sounds
To
gonna
see
do
you.
that awkward. Nice to see you.
Steps back. Looking good. You're looking good.
Notice your hair is starting to grow back yourself.
Yes. Yeah. A little bit of a different group you're with.
Hi, this is Alwyn.
Looks up. Welcome.
So our other friends are off on another mission now.
I think I recall your name. You must be Valgard of Cormier.
That is correct.
I am Carlon.
A pleasure.
Leosin sends his regards. Got pulled away at last minute for another mission. But
Leosin sends his regards. I really was waiting for that. I was like, oh fuck.
No.
But just the way you said it. Yeah.
No.
And Zan hugs him, just feels the chainmail under.
Oh no. Could you imagine?
She's as he writes it down. Can you imagine?
So Carlon he's mostly addressing you just because of your shared faction. But he says, welcome to Xonthar's tower. Not much to write home about. Average village. There used to be a lot of the folks that were working for Xonthal, his aides, his helpers, his acolytes, a wizard, and their families. But a bit ago, he went quiet and kicked everyone out of the tower. At least this is what I've gathered from my discussions with the townfolk. And haven't heard from him since. Some people say he's dead. Some people say he's in maybe another dimension or plane somewhere. It's unknown. But what is known is that the cult seems to be very active. There have even been talks of seeing a blue dragon flying around, but I haven't seen it since I got here.
Somewhere Abaddon's like.
It's never a good sign.
Any word from the man inside yet?
No, he didn't reach out to us directly, and to be honest, I have not tried to go through that maze. It's very interesting. If you come outside, I'll show you. So you step outside onto a relatively busy for a village street. I mean, people are walking around, they're going about their business. It's small homes, very traditional kind of.
Is it mostly humans?
No, it's a general, just kind of myriad of races around. There are humans, elves, half-elves, dwarves, dragonborn, like there's all types.
So we're not gonna stick out.
No, you don't stick out at all.
Irika's gonna pull his cloak a little bit tighter around himself to cover up that dragon scale now. I don't know if it's like really faint, like.
It would call probably attention to you, yeah, if people saw it. But when you step out, you looking around at the town, and then you look up, and directly in front of you, you see a tower, maybe kind of like a tannish color on the bottom. It's difficult to discern how far away it is, even though you're looking directly at it. You feel as though you should be able to see, like, oh yes, this is, 500 or so feet off in the distance. It is square shaped, and at an angle that comes up to the top and then a flat top. And from the angle that you can see, it's kind of shifted a little bit to the side. You're not looking at it head on. You can tell that it's like a cube shape. And then in front of it, you can see an overgrown hedge. You can't quite tell that it's a maze from your vantage point, but you know that it is. So when you're looking at it directly head on, it looks like overgrown, thorny, just vines growing everywhere all around. And it seems to lie between the village and the tower.
It's impressive.
Yeah. As you can see, it looks like it's been kept up with. The tower itself is not falling apart, which is, you'd think for a 100-year-old tower. If you head over to the entrance to the maze, you'll see that the folks have put a gate to keep children and animals from wandering in. This has happened in the past. Never see them again. Very sad. Were you going to get started right away?
don't see a reason to wait.
You don't know what riddles or whatever. I'm tired.
No one goes in.
You were up all night trying to make those potions of yours.
Tried and succeeded.
What about the town? Is there any activity, cult or otherwise? Or does it seem like they are no part of this?
No, the townsfolk, they've been very open about their wariness of the folks that have taken up. Unfortunately, according to them, this all started about a year ago. So they've been working at this for quite some time. But without the larger picture coming forward in only the past few months, it wasn't much to say. People hear unearthly sounds and see things flying around all the time. And when a mage like Xonthal goes missing, maybe he came back. They thought perhaps he became a lich and came back from wherever he went. If only we had known and had more time, we could have gotten ahead of this sooner. But to answer your question, I have not been in that maze. You don't go in and come out, from my understanding. The cult, if they are working in there, someone braved it at some point, but they're not coming back out to the village. They don't need whatever's here. And typically, the village folks, and you see them kind of like waves to somebody who walks by, they're not all that trusting. But you can see them looking at you now. And you can see them. While you don't stick out, these folks...
We might not stick out. That one might stick out. One size alone. It's like, hello, little townspeople.
Well, there's some dragonborn around and stuff, but it seems that you get the impression that these people know each other. You can see families like walking around, little kids and holding hands and stuff, so you get the impression that you stick out because you are a new face.
Is there an elder of this village that could perhaps tell us more about what we're about to face there?
No one goes in to the maze. We've done all of our research here as the Harpers. No one in the village is going to be able to tell you anything that I can't. And what I can tell you is no one goes in, because once you go in, there's no coming back unless you solve the maze. That's, I suppose, one thing I will warn you is when you go in, you must figure out the maze to continue.
Leave a trail of breadcrumbs.
I don't think it will be that easy, Alec.
A joke. To break the tension of impending death. Well,
We cannot scry from within or without.
obviously flying to the tower would be too easy.
Yes, if you were to attempt to fly, all I can tell you is that those who attempted to fly also disappear into the maze. So there's no getting around it. Whatever Xonthal did to secure his space, even the animals and birds stay away from that maze. There is only one way to get to the tower, and it is through whatever lies within.
Well, excellent. I'm ready.
Optimistic. You're gonna need that. From what I understand.
We either succeed or we die. Quite frankly, I didn't mind being dead. It was rather pleasant.
Right.
What he means to say is, this is what we do.
Yeah. No, I mean, I know. Adventuring and doing good deeds. I know that very well. It like slaps you on the shoulder.
Love you, man.
All
I owe
right
you my
then.
life, so.
Hopefully we will see you soon.
Good luck. I wish there was more I could say before you head off on your journey, or more I could give you. But other than just knowledge of the danger inside, that's what I've got. Don't worry about the town folk, the villagers. They've seen enough strangeness, but they're not going to bother you when you head over. I can bring you over.
Is there any way to communicate into the tower from here? Can those inside the tower see the town itself?
I don't know. We don't have anybody on the other side.
Abaddon's with us, right? She's
Yeah.
not still sleeping.
No,
Well, I was just wondering if there was someone in the town that would report to those inside the tower that we were entering.
perhaps. They're definitely coming and going from the tower. So my guess, and this, what I've reported back to Remy, is that I would assume once you get to the tower, if you can set up a portal, teleportation circle, permanent or otherwise, that doesn't. Perhaps there's nothing stopping you from transporting. Again, thinking about it, Xonthal likely would have used that as a means to get in and out. But we cannot see you, we cannot scry on you. You are lost once you step through the gate.
So if that means that the cult also can't scry on us once we're in there.
Perhaps.
Be on our own, like always.
Again, it's what we do. So let's go do it. I'm just gonna march towards the gate.
All right. So he leads you, like he'll bring you. Yeah, he just brings you.
It's over here.
Oh, that gate.
He brings you through the village. You see people looking at you as you go, and as a couple of people like stop to watch you as you are clearly heading to the entrance of the maze. And again, when you approach, as you start to get closer, the craziness of this maze, like of the hedges and the overgrown vines, like this looks like it has been this overgrown, doing its own thing for over 100 years, except for this beautifully ornate, very simple in terms of build gate that is locked to ensure that people do not go in and out, children and animals. As an adult, you can climb over it.
So it's like padlocked.
Yes. But it's only like chest height for an adult person.
Just like a little white picket fence.
Don't go in here. It's strange because it's hard to see where it actually attaches to. It's almost like the vines have just grown around the sides to hold it in place. But as you get closer, like you hear dogs barking and everything in the village, and then when you get in closer and up to the maze, which has distance, probably a good 50 or so feet from the edge of the village to the beginning of the maze, you don't hear birds, you don't hear any creatures. Charlie, actually feel fidgeting like in your little pocket where, and you know this to be, you've known Charlie a long time, his whole life probably, like there's an uneasiness that animals get to whatever's
Do
going on.
we feel that too?
You don't know. You don't feel
We
it.
don't
The
feel
only
that.
strangeness that you feel is that you don't hear any animals or anything as you get closer.
That's literally birds. I was trying to point out.
So Carla looks at you. Good luck, my friends.
Thank you.
Sounds like we'll need it.
Hey, take care.
I will be here should you return. All right. So, one by one, you hop over the fence.
As always, you can go first.
Alright.
I'll go second. This time. Usually it brings up the rear, but I'll go second.
I'll bring up the rear because I'm tired.
Alright, so you all enter the maze, hop over the fence.
Arwell just like steps over it. It's so tall.
Oh,
Just what?
And once you're all inside, as you know, the maze is like overgrowing, and then you stop and turn to make sure whoever let Zan, you stop and turn to look and make sure everybody's made it through, and you see Abaddon coming in, and you're in the back, right? And then finally Valgard comes through, and turning around to look at them, the hedges that are flanking either side of you as you come in, beautifully trimmed, just immaculately kept. There's no overgrown vines, nothing. It is gorgeous. You look up into the sky and you can see the sun is shining. You don't hear any birds or any other animals, but you do see like little clouds. The hedges are probably 9-ish or so, 9-10 feet up. So that you're 7-ish and a few inches from feet. Like it's, you know, it's like you almost could touch. But it's a completely different feel. Suddenly, all of you, it's like you blinked and it was a landscaped maze. And turning around and looking, all you can see in front of you and behind you, the gate is gone, and there is just an open, kind of like in Labyrinth, where it just goes in front of you and behind you.
So this open behind us now too?
Yes.
You said?
Yep. Like you turn around to greet everyone. Valgard, you've hopped over the fence, and then you're like, what? And then Valgard, you turn around, the fence is gone, and it is just a hedge maze and going straight, and then it curves.
I'm gonna just reach, see if we're in a holodeck.
No, you reach in front of you, and there's nothing there. Just air, as would be expected.
That's different.
This is the first trick.
Which direction are you going?
Can we see the tower?
You can. You look up, and you can see the tower directly in front of you.
How about that way?
And Zan, you're like, oh yeah, that way, and you look, and the tower's right there too. And then Arwell, you're looking the other way, and there, yeah, the tower's right there. It's like
Do we all see all the towers? Do we each
there's only
see
one tower.
But we're each seeing one in a different place?
Wherever you look, there the tower is.
So I look behind me where the gate was, and the tower's there.
Yeah. And then you
Oh.
turn and look over
Bollocks.
here, and there's the tower.
This is magic.
I just pictured like Captain Obvious in the commercials. It's like
Zan puts on a sailor's hat. This is magic. This is the work of magic.
Twirling your body.
Alright. So,
Forwards or backwards?
I say we go forwards.
Same.
What if the way there is the way backwards?
You're very tired, Val. You need sleep.
I've been more tired.
Just,
right. So you just choose a direction and you go. Going forward, the way that you like,
Like
the
go
way you
forward.
think
the
they
way,
came in.
The way that we were facing as we went over the fence.
Okay. So you head in the direction that you think you were facing when you went over the fence. Roll. Let's see. Roll.
everybody or?
No, I'll just have one person roll 2d6, or two people roll 1d6 each.
Let's have two people roll 1d6, so more people
Alright.
roll.
It's my first roll.
Yeah.
Baby's first roll. Oh.
1 and a 2.
Okay. So you continue on, and it's quiet. There's not much to be seen or heard. As you're walking, at first it looked like it went on forever in front of you, but then as you begin to walk, like you start to see that it curves. And so you turn a corner and there's nothing. It just continues. There's no animals, no turns, no nothing. You keep walking and then there's a turn suddenly again. You walk for about 15 or so minutes. That continuous, like just when you think that you are headed in like a singular direction and you look up and you can see the tower is really close. Like it looks like you can just get there, you know, maybe 10-minute walk, and then you'll turn a corner and you look and it's right in front of you again, but it's further away. And then you make 3 like left turns and then a 4th, and the tower is to your right, but then it's also to your left, and it's very, very close. And you turn only for it to be very far away again. And then you find yourself entering an intersection. Eventually, you get to this point, and it opens up, and there are 8 paths in front of you that converge symmetrically. You can see Xonthal's tower is dead ahead, right above the hedge wall.
Do you mean like they all come, like as like a starburst, like all the 8 come into one circle?
So is the
Right.
8 counting as the path that we're coming from? Like that's one of the 8?
One of the ways, yes.
And they're
and-
all
and-
evenly spaced?
Yes. And what you see is a sundial that stands in the center of the intersection. It's 10 foot by 10 foot. Or it's a sundial, so it's a 10-foot piece. Diameter, sorry. And you can see the shadow. How do you pronounce this? Gnomon? Gnomon? Hold on, I'm Googling it. I should have Googled it before.
Don't ask me. I'll say it 4 different ways.
How do you pronounce this word?
Is it Gnomon?
Naumon.
Now,
Naumon. So it is the angled part of the sundial.
Oh, I
It
didn't
is
know that had a
pointing
name.
straight towards the tower, which is highly odd because the sun isn't behind you. So that must not be it. It is the shadow. Apparently it's the shadow from the thing. Is pointing
shadow.
towards the tower.
Okay.
So
Which
I actually have this. Hold on. I've got this underneath.
Quick, move the candy!
oh god, oh. Oh, everything.
I don't know what that word's supposed to be describing, but alright, so north I'm gonna have facing me. It doesn't matter that you see any of this because you don't know what it is.
The fog of war.
I am going to cover it so you don't get distracted by it.
What, north facing you said?
North facing in the way that I can. So you entered from me. That one. Yep. Do you want to put somebody there? You can put somebody, whoever you want. So you enter there, and the like I said, the shadow. I'm just gonna call it fucking shadow. Fucking shadow is facing directly in front of you, on this plinth that the sundial is on top of. The sundial is anchored to the ground, like it's anchored to that plinth, as you can see. And in each direction, you see these paths going, but each of them turns before you can see where it goes. It just kind of turns. What do you do?
And there's nothing else in this intersection, just the sundial.
Just the sundial, with the shadow facing that way.
Did you say the sundial, where the shadow is not aligned with like where the sun is shining? Is that what you said?
Right.
Okay.
And which path is it? You said it's pointing.
It's there's the I don't know what any of this is on me, but the shadow is pointing towards
the tower.
which is directly in front of you.
This way.
Yep.
Can the sundial? Does it look like it could be moved? Spun?
Are you inspecting it?
Yes.
Okay. So you head over.
Just the way she said it, I was like, "Oh fuck, am I?"
I don't know.
Oh no.
At least you don't have disadvantage.
Nope. So you head
Why
over
is
to
it-
the
oh,
sundial
it's
and
on- it's on
you
right.
begin to look at it and you see written around the perimeter, the edge of the round sundial. You see the following: follow time itself, for that shall be your guide. The first path is reached with that simplest thought. Then head between time, or challenges hide. The third is now betwixt, where the path is wrought. Time divides, but you must follow X true. Before you enter the maze itself, to make your way through. Leaving is easy, but sleep is not found, whilst you remain on my enchanted ground. And one thing that you notice is very interesting about the sundial as you are looking at all of this is there are only 8 markers on it. Where you would normally see 24 for 24 hours in a day, there are only 8, and each of them corresponds to a path. And the shadow that you see is pointing towards number 1 in front of you.
So the first part said, I know there's a bunch of different parts to that. Can you read the first part of it?
Follow time itself, for that shall be your guide. The first path is reached with that simplest thought. And I'll put this in the chat for you. But in the,
I was gonna say because
in the
as
players.
you speak, for some reason, it's just doing this and falling
no,
on the
I
other
was
side.
it's a riddle. Yeah.
Does it look like it could be moved, spun, picked up, anything like that?
So you put your hands on it and try to like move. It is solid in place. There is no moving it. There's no breaking it. It will not.
You said you can get electrocuted or something like that. I was expecting to like touch it. All I could think of was in Jurassic Park, the little Timmy on the fence, and he gets like thrown.
Is the shadow moving at all, or is the sun staying in place, like not moving through the sky?
The sun has not. You wouldn't notice a super difference because you've only been walking for like 15 or so minutes, but
But sitting here staring at a sundial, you will see it
yes,
slowly
right.
move.
It is not moving at all.
Are our shadows pointing in a different direction than the sundial?
Yes. So the sun it's morning time, so it's kind of off to the side, but the sun has also not moved at all that you can tell. But your shadows, when you look down, are facing like off to the side at an angle from a morning-ish sun, where this is facing directly in front.
First clue says to follow time itself. I think we should go to the path the shadow is pointing to.
Our shadows or the shadow?
No, the shadow of the dial.
It says that it's the simplest answer.
Maybe it's too simple.
Right, do they literally mean follow time itself where that's pointing, or the real time? Where our shadows point?
Arika's gonna take how much? I think I have like 150 feet of rope or something like that. Bunch of
You
rope.
better have.
So
I have. Anything helpful?
yeah, he's gonna see if anybody else has any rope on them. Oh, I know. I still want Annie to see that I bought that when she comes. I'd be like, look, I got his rope. See or not? know I had rope. I don't know why I don't see it in my thing. There we go. Yeah, he's got 150 feet of rope. So he's going to tie it to himself.
Mm-hmm.
And does anybody else have any rope? Anyone willing to contribute?
I have 50 feet of rope. What are your
I'm just going
thoughts?
to tie it to myself and walk through that simplest answer.
Are you all going together, or are you?
What are you tying it off to?
The sundial.
Okay.
Oh, the sundial.
He'll tie a rope. I can't remember what it's called now, of course. Fuck me. There's a type of rope that you can tie that if you shake it, it'll come undone. You know what I mean? So you don't. It's so you don't lose your rope. It's a real knot, I swear to God. I just can't remember what the hell it's called. But
The thing is, or we know that this maze is magical.
of course,
200 feet, we don't know how far it is that we need to go. It is hundreds of feet to get to here. I don't think you should go alone.
well, it's one of us goes or we all go.
I'm gonna move Abaddon because it's confusing.
I think we should stick together.
Back up.
What is getting all this? I get like you go over me and I don't know why. So yeah, but I don't know why. Like where's it coming? All right, so I'm just gonna put this as
So
like
that's the
marker.
shadow.
That's
Go
the
that
way
way.
it's. The arrow is. That's the direction it's going. All right, so you're standing there all talking, chatting.
Yeah, I
I
think
guess
we
I'm-
should stay together.
I agree. I guess I'm just thinking, all the people that have come in here before us, they've all read this, and they all probably did what we're thinking of doing, which is going straight. Right? I guess we don't know.
I agree. That's too simple. That's just
Are,
a trap.
are there any footprints or anything like that through here? No, like trackways or anything that like you could tell where somebody has walked before?
Straight could be right, and then they just, goofed up later. So.
All of
Yeah.
our shadows are pointing the same
This way?
direction.
Your shadows are pointing the direction that the sun is, like morning, like so they're it's kind of at an angle and longer. The shadow that is on the sundial is not matching your shadow. It is pointing directly and straight ahead.
I say we follow our shadow.
It does say time itself.
Aye, that'd be
The sundial.
It's the sundial.
It says time itself.
Again, but like Arwell said, time within the maze or time outside the maze. Because real time would be our shadows.
Right, but it's saying follow time itself.
I still vote straight. I'm just trying to be clear. What's the worst that's gonna happen? We get lost inside of a maze forever?
That's probably the worst thing can happen, unless something eats us.
yeah. I'd say a violent death inside the maze would be the worst that could happen.
Say walk straight.
Do you want to use the rope?
Where's a coin? Want to flip for it?
I don't think we have any. Ark's gonna take his. I've got chalk. I
Okay.
haven't used that since like how long ago? Since I think the very first session when I marked something for the civilians to run on the wall.
the hidden tunnel there.
Yeah, and he's
Okay.
he's gonna mark on the. What is it for the ground? Is it like? Is it like cobblestones?
Yeah. No, it's just like a simple dirt path. No, you're right. It is cobblestones.
Oh shit!
I'm
Okay,
looking at
cool.
these As I'm looking at
Wow.
this map. No, yep, it is cobblestone.
I
Yes,
thought you were gonna say
it is
grass. I was like, fuck.
No, it's cobblestone. Looking at the map.
Ah, the whole everything. Okay. So,
Everything on the floor, on the ground. Yeah.
So he's gonna make a nice arrow with it going that way to show that we've
Okay.
gone the way that we're moving.
Okay.
So if something happens, because it's a very classic like maze thing, is that you go la da 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 da. Wait, you know what I'm saying? Like, fuck. So we would know that one is one that we wouldn't go down.
Do not open. Dead inside.
Alright. Are you moving forward? You're all going together in that direction?
Yes.
Zen will take the lead.
Okay. Alright. 2d6, could you please roll? As you all together look and head forward through.
4.
1.
Okay.
Boo.
So you continue walking forwards. And while at first it looked like it turned this way, when you start walking in that direction, it veers off to the right. And so you just follow along and find yourselves walking for several minutes, kind of in the quiet.
Along the way, I'm going to stab into the bushes. And I
Okay.
just want to see how far I can my scimitar can go through.
Okay.
Just
So-
get pulls in.
At a certain point, you take your scimitar, you push it through, and as far as you can tell, the length of your arm. Are you putting your arm through the bushes
No,
or
I'm
just the
just
scimitar?
putting like
Oh,
up to
okay.
the pommel.
Okay, so you
It's
do
gonna
that.
Like a nub.
Are you walking with it like that?
No.
or-
As we're walking, I'm just gonna pause for a moment and be like,
Okay. So you do that and pull back out.
it's thicker. It's very thick. I was expecting some Evil Dead shit. Just
Yeah, no.
blood.
It needs to be like, ow.
Yeah, quit it.
You bitch.
No, yeah, you just continue walking, and then you find yourselves, eventually you turn a corner and step out into this area and directly in front of you, you see
That's so classic.
the sundial.
Is the chalk mark still there?
Where did you draw it?
I drew it here, like
Okay. You come around to the other
Here.
side, because it's a 10.
like pointing it like towards that.
Yep. So you go around to the other side, and there's nothing there.
Fuck. God damn it.
But then you look at the
Oh, so we walked out this way. Did we come back the same way we did
you
originally?
came in through there.
We came in, we went out, and we came back in
Came
that way.
through there.
Fucking called it.
And you
This is like it's like labyrinth
Can Zan
stuff.
check the sundial?
yes. So looking at the sundial, you see the shadow is facing this way and this way.
It's different.
Where are our
There are
shadows?
Look at our shadow.
There are two shadows, one facing directly in front of you,
This way and this
and
way.
one facing 90 degree. Yeah. And so number 1 and 3.
Could you repeat the second clue?
Let's see.
Then head between time or challenges hide.
Then
Say hide between time.
head between
Head between time or challenges hide.
or challenge aside.
But there's
Your
no.
shadows, the sun has not moved from where it was when you first entered, and your shadows are still casting along.
I think we should
in the
take that
morning.
middle with that middle
Yeah,
path.
Here?
in between the two, because it said
Between
first time
time.
follow, and now if it's going here and here,
Go in between.
this path is
In between the two.
Yeah.
2 times.
So, oh, I love this. So it looks the exact. It looks like
The exact same place.
I love
You don't
this.
know if it's where you came from or if it's another one, but it looks exactly
Oh
the
yeah,
same.
because there was no chalk mark.
You look and you read in the same
It's the other
long
trope where you think it's the
spiraling-
same
one.
but it isn't.
Now I wish I took like a sharpshooter or something, so I could shoot a crossbow bolt and like have it bounce off and go. It's like see if it land, let's see if it comes at us from this side.
So looking up to the tower is directly in front of you. Exactly where it
I
was.
think we're in agreement to go in between.
In between.
Okay. Roll a 2d6 again, please.
You guys want to do it again?
3.
5.
Okay. So you continue on, heading in between the two, and you feel very confident as a group. It's like, yeah, we got this.
That's always the word she says right before we fucking something happens.
I mean,
Rolls for initiative.
whatever we're about to run into.
You guys feel real good about that decision.
So you're walking through and
Real good about the wrong decision.
it turns, and there's actually a lot of weaving this time, a lot of turns, and then it's straight, and you are walking and walking and walking, and it feels like you walk for maybe an hour, just going and going, and you look up at the sky, and no matter which way you turn, the sun is still in that one spot, and your shadow is still. But it doesn't matter if you look this way or whatever way, the sun like follows and your shadow is long on the ground.
I feel like a little kid, you ever been driving in the car with your parents when you're little and you're like, the moon's following us.
Yes.
I feel like everybody's done that.
What's the next line of the riddle?
Well, as you're thinking this, Arwell, you're trying to think, what was the next line? You go, find yourself stepping out to the sundial.
Oh, all right.
From which
From
direction?
exactly where.
Same
We
like
are?
that.
Oh, shit.
Okay.
Oh.
And you step up to the sundial and you read along in this like spiraling language that kind of almost spirals in towards where the sundial is. The third, a new betwixt, where the path is wrought. And you look at the sundial itself, and you can see that.
Third, a new betwixt.
Yes.
Where the path is wrought.
Yep.
With a W.
Like W-R-O.
W-R-O-T?
Yeah, there we go.
WROGHT.
Okay.
The third is a new betwixt, where the path is wrought.
So,
And I'm going to draw
and
what
it's
what it is.
a new,
facing.
like as in one word?
A new, 2 words.
Oh.
I think we're doing well so far.
Killing it.
Nothing bad happened last time.
A lot of kids wonder what
Yeah.
Betwixt means.
And you see 3 shadows. And these are on the sundial, but I don't want to ruin it.
Can you read it again, Pat?
A new betwixt where the path is wrought.
New betwixt. Is wrought.
I'm going to say betwixt, which would mean between. Between two, this is the way we came. Because between would be neither. I mean, technically this is 2 and this is 2.
We can't rule out that it's back where we came from.
Well, that's what I'm thinking
Yeah.
is because if this is here and this is here, this is the only one looking at it that's straight in between 2 shadows. The other one has 2. And we can't obviously climb through. Watch that be an answer. Climb through the maze.
I did try cutting it a little bit.
Fair point. What do you guys think?
I don't really need to go
The
back. What do you
new
think?
betwixt.
The path
The
is
new path is wrought.
wrought, like where it's coming
I
from.
wish
Was
I
that what it
lost
ended?
the
New path
relevance
is.
in real life.
With the new.
The
Right.
third is a new betwixt, where the path is wrought.
I mean, we did just
It's a
rot this path.
it's a new betwixt.
It's between is the main thing that I'm thinking because there's nothing else that's in between.
Anything else we'd have to guess.
Well, not only that,
Between
but
two, right?
we'd have to split up completely to cover all 4 paths.
Wait a minute, it says a new path. A new one.
Should we inspect, like make sure there's no
We
other
should
like
go-
secret ones?
We should go between a new path. Wrought.
So we cut our way through.
Make our own path. An option. Do you think like cut it?
I'll try
Go
and
in?
separate. Valga, when you stuck your hand in, did it feel any resistance?
No, just
Maybe
more
try.
bush.
More bush. That's an album, more bush. I like that. We gotta write that one down. Maybe if we try the same thing, if we can do what Val here did before and try to stick something through and see if we can feel any empty
There or there?
space. I still vote between the back door and the cane. But that's just me. I'm only one part of our group.
I'm with you for now, but I am intrigued by this other idea.
Not for nothing, every way we've gone so far has brought us back here. So what happens when we get wrong?
Danger.
Challenges,
We get
which
back
is
here.
probably a nice word for something really awful. Challenges, hide. If we're making a new path, do you have a thought as far as like this one or this one?
It's 50-50.
Arc's looking behind. Do I see anything behind us from the way we came?
So you turn and look, and you're pretty sure that you just took a corner to come back here. But when you turn around to look, it is just a straight path.
The path
Goes
behind
on
us is
forever.
straight.
It's new.
It's a new path.
It's new.
And it's between two shadows.
Okay.
I'd say it's a 50-50 shot between going back the way we came to make a new path or very literally trying to cut a new path. Which, not for nothing, does seem to break. Who knows
Where the path is wrought.
what mad wizard would want.
That's what makes me think it's in between the hedge, where the path is wrought.
And how rotten does the path have to be?
I believe it means rough,
Oh.
right? That's what
Rotten, no, rotten
No,
means
I-
like made. Like make.
Yeah, me.
Made.
Make a path.
Oh, I thought it was meaning rough. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Like when you like wrought iron is iron that you have. It's like you've wrought it out. You've worked it out. You've made it out of a door.
Follow time itself, for that shall be your guide. The first path is reached with that simplest thought. Then head between time or challenges hide. The third is a new betwixt, where the path is wrought.
See,
I
it's
like
set. There's a comma there. It's not where the. It's. Can you read that? Well, actually.
The
Can you-
third-
I was gonna ask Xonthal
I-
to keep it in.
You don't want it to be
The third is
my ver-
the third is a new betwixt, comma, where the path is wrought.
So the path is wrought just means where the path is,
Is made, which is the path.
which I think is with the way we came. It's between the two shadows. Everything so far has had to do with the two shadows involved in time.
Yeah, it's good enough
Yeah,
for me.
I'm on board with that.
Arg is not a big brain guy. like,
Yeah, no,
like
it threw me out because I legitimately thought rot was
Like
meaning
it's
rough.
rough?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Makes
it's two separate things. The second where the path is wrought just means where you'll find the path. I think. It's tough with ancient mad wizard ye old language.
Alright, turn around, let's go back.
So
Good.
Arg is going to turn around, and when we see that, and he's going to point out to everybody that instead of path curving, it is a new. You said it was straight, correct? Did you
It's
curve
straight.
the other way? It's a new path.
All right.
Okay.
Give it a try.
All right, roll 2d6.
I just
please.
imagine like the sundial, like a Decepticon comes alive, tries to kill us all.
5.
Everybody
5.
blames Arik. 6.
Ooh, okay.
Fuck, we're all dead.
You turn around and you're like,
9 enemies.
and like you turn around and you've got this long path in front of you. You look up and you see the tower is in front of you, off in the distance, like very far. And as you're walking forward, you like bump into the hedges and look to your right, and the path continues.
It just appeared.
Well, suddenly, yeah, there's there. And
I'm so happy with my decision.
I am so smart. I am so.
God out of 10
yeah,
for
you-
intelligence.
and then So you're like, oh, I guess it continues. So you just keep walking.
I thought you were gonna say what? Hit another one.
No, yeah.
I'm in a
You
case of
continue
emotion.
And you guys continue on.
So I bumped into the
You
hedges.
bumped into the hedges.
Did anybody
but,
else
but,
see the hedges just appear?
Oh yeah, no, they're just there. They've always been there.
Everybody
But
else
then
see
you
the
turn
hedges?
and the path continues. You just turn, and when you turn around to look, that's gone. It's just
It's
continued
just changing
on.
as we go.
Okay.
There is no sundial behind you, so you just
Well, it's either good or bad.
continue walking.
Okay.
Either way, we're
Just-
committed. So
but
let's carry on, I
This
guess.
is like the Jamiroquai music video. Like we're like walking in place and the world is moving around us.
Yeah, but right now I feel like that was it a Skittles or a Starburst commercial. The guy's walking down, but his legs are fucking all kicking up. Remember that one?
I'm just picturing as we're walking, the hedges just like lift up slightly, and you see feet, and they just tiptoe into like different places.
It's like when you're
down.
watching everybody move the scenery in a play.
Yeah.
He's dressed in black and moving things
Like
around.
there's some Dr. Seuss shit going on here.
So you continue
One bush,
walking,
two bush.
and this time 10 minutes, 30 minutes, 45. The sun never moves. Your shadows, you find yourselves just kind of like, you're walking, and the shadow, you look down, and it's almost like a game. Like you look up, and the sun is there, and then you turn around, and the sun is still there. And even when you're looking at each other's shadows, they're exactly where you expect them to be, based off of where you see the sun. But when you turn around, and the sun, and an hour and a half,
I might have fucked up,
2
guys.
hours goes by, and then you turn a corner, and directly in front of you is the sundial.
Was
I'm
there
gonna use
anything?
the sweat
Was there
from my
more?
hands to wipe off
I think they
my
were
shadow.
sure.
Was it?
I'm using my sweaty hands to wipe the shadow off because it is so hot.
It doesn't need to be that hot for your hands. to be sweaty.
No, it does not. My hands sweat just for fun. But that's pretty gross. There you go. And you step over to the sundial, and you see the shadow. I don't know why I just did that.
We made it. We got past that one. I wasn't sure we went the same way. I was like, fuck, did it like reset? Like if we fuck up it, like now you have to start back at one, so you have to take all that time or whatever, you know what I mean?
Step
like a-
forward
like a
and
video
read.
game.
Follow time itself, for that shall be your guide. The first path is reached with that simplest thought. Then head between time or challenges hide. The third is a new betwixt where the path is wrought. Time divides, but you must follow X true before you enter the maze itself to make your way through. Leaving is easy, but sleep is not found whilst you remain on my enchanted ground.
Follow
Could you
X.
reread
Time
the four?
divides.
Yeah.
Time divides, but you must follow X true.
X, true.
It's gonna make us split up.
Can I inspect this sundial and see if it moves or lifts or anything?
I'm so scared.
You head over to it, and using your little bit of strength at first, you just press against it, and then you really push. It's not going anywhere.
I already tried that.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah.
Well, I thought maybe it was different this time. That we were
Oh,
like
I
X
didn't
marks
even-
the spot like a
didn't even think about
pirate.
it, yeah. Push it off, and there's like a
There's like a tunnel or something.
yeah, like Power Rangers when like they push off like a thing off the moon and it's Rita
Yeah.
in there, and you just like jump down.
I felt like, well, now I am.
So from the perspective of where we're walking in, it would be like the diagonals, right? That it's pointing towards.
So, and just to clarify, like the sundial, the shadows are coming off of it. But yes, diagonals. But the shadows are coming off of the direct center. I'm just not drawing.
And the sun is still in the
So-
same spot.
So
The
it's
sun is
like,
still in the same
as
spot.
opposed to like how it normally is, like it's almost like originating directly from the center.
It originates from where the sundial itself is, and then there's 4 shadows splitting off. And directly in front of you is the tower.
Was there anything else after the follow X true part?
Before you enter the maze itself to make your way through.
Oh, okay.
Before you
Doesn't
sound
enter the
like-
We're not
maze.
even in the maze
No.
yet.
I know, we're in the prologue. What is this shit? This is gonna be the easiest one too. It's been like
Yeah.
fucking perplexing.
Time divides.
Take my
You
crossbow.
must follow X through.
Follow what you tell. I wonder if we came across it, we'd find your corpse there. We'd be gone too. Yes. So far, we've had.
This makes an X, not, that's a cross. So,
It says follow X true.
Here's some information.
whoa, hey,
Hey there. What?
hi you.
Hey, what's X true mean?
So, it showed me a diagram of a cell.
So as you are
Mighty
standing
Ponder is a
there,
powerhouse of the sun.
like first you try to move it, and then you sit there and you're watching, and as you are examining these shadows, the shadows begin to slowly start rotating around the face of the sundial,
Oh, now they're moving.
and then they start to spin faster and faster until they and then shrink and shrink into the called a Naumon itself, and then there are no shadows at all. Sorry, I'm gonna use my sweater.
How big is the sundial?
10. So also, I should also say, sorry that I drew this wrong. It is, each square is 10 feet, so it's a 10
Oh,
foot.
so the sundial is like a big,
It's a
like,
it's 10 foot diameter.
Can I look up? Is there like anything directly above the sundial?
Just a wizard. Hello.
Yeah, as you look up and the sky is there with the sun right off, well, it would technically be to your east. But you're You're looking at me, so
each shadow too.
Where are our
Follow
shadows?
X true. I'm like,
your shadows
it's like maybe it's an
are
invisible ladder that you can only see from like a certain angle,
being
like
cast
the
from
bridge
the
in
sun,
Indiana
which is
Jones.
still
Yeah.
in the morning, like mid-morning space it was in when you first entered.
So they're casting like this way still.
No, not necessarily, because
Oh.
when you turn to look,
Oh,
the sun
yeah.
is always
Right.
Zan is going to get up on the sundial and check out where the center of the X was.
So you climb up onto the sundial.
I do.
Get off my sundial.
You step up onto the sundial and are looking down, and then you get sucked down into it.
Oh, son of a bitch!
You all watch as Zan disappears from the sundial, but is pulled. You watch him get pulled down into it.
Alright, well,
Arl's panicking and scrambling up there to try to look. She's not standing on it, but she's trying to like look down and see if there's like an opening.
The sundial exists as it always has, solid and unmoving in the center.
Just we'll say, you gotta watch out for Zan, because sometimes he just kind of
Zan does some
Zan
silly
does
shit.
also sometimes.
Zan went to the Feywild for a whole year because he saw something shiny in the guts of a dead creature. He was like, "Hey, look at that!" Disappeared.
Arl's like the worried mom, like no.
You go over, you're
We're not
looking.
mad. I just want to know where you are and that you come home safe.
Abaddon is like, where did Zan go?
I feel like he either did the right thing or like the super wrong thing. Something really bad happened, but
Augur climbs up, takes his trail, and next goes, let's go!
He gets pulled down, his hair goes down into the
So,
sundial.
what did it say one more time? The fourth part, the X.
Follow X true.
Time divides, but you must follow X true.
All right.
I guess we're doing this.
All right, Arl, Abaddon, let's go.
We're all going
How's
in.
How's Abaddon? Is she scared?
Yeah.
He'll hold
She
her.
looks freaked out.
He's gonna like brotherly take her hand, like lead her to her. Like, it's okay. We'll do this together.
I'm glad you're with me.
Well, let's hope that we all end up together wherever the hell this goes. It's all gonna be just fine.
So you head up together,
Yes.
sucked down in.
We're
Arwell,
sucked in.
you are standing there, having watched this group that you just joined, looking around. You can see all
Before
of
he
the
gets
path.
pulled down, he's gonna look at Arwa and be like, "Remember,
And as he
this
does
is
says
what
that,
we do. Remember something very important. This is what we do."
She's just gonna like look around. It's just dead silence.
Yes. Quiet. The sun just staring
Get it?
down at you from the
Fuck
space it
me.
has been for the past
First
6
day on the
hours.
job.
That's what I did the last time I chased Zan back into a room full of danger. I just sighed heavily and went back down the stairs.
You step up onto it, sucked down, and you drop down and find yourself landing right next to another sundial with all of your friends around you.
Zan is impaled on the tower.
If anyone, Zan can survive a fall.
Well, I'm saying, yeah. And then we all are like, oh, like, and you get driven down slightly with each person.
I'm a monk. I'm a monk. I
I
do
know.
the one finger upside down handstand and prevent myself from being
Like I
impaled.
said, totally awesome. Until you're like, oh man, it's totally glad my
I like
asshole
how we
friends
had the
didn't
same
fall.
idea though. Like I'm like, there's a invisible, like only can be seen from a certain angle ladder that goes
It was-
up, and you're like, it goes down.
Yeah, you are.
Once she said that it was 10 feet across, and I was like, oh, X marks the spot.
See, I thought
I
we
was
were
trying
going
to
to
push
follow
this
the
giant
shadows
thing
up. We
that's
were all
way
going to
too
have to
heavy.
split up or something.
No. Okay.
So you all stand there, looking up. You can see the tower in front of you, wherever you're looking, and there it is. And
As we fell, like
you landed next to.
was it
sundial.
instantaneous, or did we just like go through some void?
It was instantaneous. Like you got sucked in, and like your eyes instinctively close when something like that happened. Air goes up, your eyes close. When you opened up your eyes, you dropped.
this the whole time. I saw the horrors of the void.
You just dropped, like almost like you jumped in the air and then just dropped down to the ground from a normal jump.
So that's what it feels like to be Zan then. That's Monk's slow fall.
And now you stand there, looking at the
Does it still say the same stuff?
Nauman,
No, man. Hey,
and
man.
the shadows are pointing in every direction of the maze.
And was there a fifth?
Reading the inscription still on the plinth. Time divides, but you must follow X true before you enter the maze itself to make your way through. Leaving is easy, but sleep is not found, whilst you remain on my enchanted ground.
And our shadows now are still doing the
exact where
same
they
thing,
were, still doing the same thing.
but the sun still moves and all that.
So we
Sun
have to do
has-
I'm
something
not doesn't move. I
often.
mean, like when we look and the
Oh
sun,
yeah, when you look and you're looking, the sun is still.
the
It's
sun is
like-
still doing that goofy
It's
sun
still
shit.
at 11 o'clock a.m. No matter which direction you're at.
I know it sounds weird, but other than the first riddle, we never followed any of the paths that it pointed to. It's pointing in every direction. Those are not the direction to go.
So, say that again.
If it's pointing in a direction, that is not the direction to go.
I think we should try climbing back up onto the sundial again. It's pointing in a direction not to go.
Said something about the grounds, enchanted grounds.
I think we go between them. Every other than the first was about between the marks.
So now we cut our way through.
Now we try and go through the hedge.
Which way?
Do they all look the same? Like the
Yes.
intersections of hedges and everything?
Yep. It has never changed. It looks like
Maybe.
If you didn't know that there were numbers, like on, 1 through 8, you could enter from any direction really, and it would look exactly the same as any other direction.
I think we pick one and we go as a group.
Yeah,
Cut-
nothing in
cut
that last
through
part.
or walk a path.
Cut through, in between the path. Every other time, other than the first, we did not follow where the lines pointed us. If they're pointing every direction, we go between.
Certainly try.
Good
Give it a
idea
shot.
as any. Your instincts were really right on about the last one, so I think it's worth a try.
Let's give it a shot. Ar's gonna pull a regular long sword, and he's gonna try to start cutting through that hedge. I guess any particular direction. That one.
All right. You step forward.
I was gonna go with this one because it's pointing there, but I was like, no, this one.
You begin cutting through the hedge. What are the rest of you doing?
Alright.
Watching anxiously.
I think we should just go through.
Just walk through.
Yeah,
walk
I
through.
think
But I thought we couldn't walk through. I thought he. Didn't you try?
No,
You've
you-
already started cutting, so he's
I
cutting.
didn't. Yeah, I was
cutting,
gonna say,
right?
I didn't cut. I just
Okay. Well,
reached through with sword.
Arwell's gonna stand far enough behind him that she's not gonna get hit with anything, but close
Now-
enough that something like if something happens, she can grab them.
would now be a good time to use the rope?
You stop cutting.
Yes. I'm sorry. I thought I didn't retcon that or whatever. Yeah.
Okay. So
We're
you
not,
stop.
I guess we're not
you
cutting.
start cutting, and then
I
you
thought
stop.
I thought he had had trouble. His arm wouldn't. You know what I mean?
No, I just took the
He
sword.
took a sword
reached
and
through.
Oh,
like
yeah, that's
slid-
right. And
he
we
didn't-
stopped-
he
like,
stopped
stopped
at
at
the
the hill. Right?
Yeah, like I didn't want. Like,
Thinking
I just
we
wanted to
just
see
do
if
the-
it was solid,
Yeah.
and if it would go through, because you would be able to feel if you went through.
Well, who wants to go, or am I just going?
I'll go first if you want. It was my idea.
Art is gonna take his rope, his 50-foot rope, 50-foot length, and he's gonna tie you off. And he's gonna keep it tight. You know what I'm saying? Actually, a climber, wrap it around him once so he can feed the line out just in
Yep.
case. Just in case suddenly. God, I just had a horror movie thing where it's we're there and he's like, I'm good, and the rope.
a mimic.
But then the rope just drops in
Like chopped up.
what movie was it?
Every movie.
No, I know, but there was one, The Mist.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When they had the rope and it's and then it just goes limp.
Okay, so
So yeah, so he's gonna do that. He's gonna throw the other end to Arwell in case
they're hanging on.
he's
so you
just
guys,
making an
are
assumption.
you guys going
that Trump-
together? Are you going together, or are you waiting for him to go and then you're gonna follow?
Shit. I was gonna send you in like that too.
I'm just
We're feeding
asking,
you
so
in
I know
line,
what
but now
to,
that
how to describe.
Zan's gonna go one way or another.
All right, Zan's
All right.
heading
Zan's
through.
gonna-
So then he'll tie himself off too,
Okay.
and he'll look and not. He'll look at Arwell do you want me? All right. Well, no. Do you want me to tie you? Because he's gonna go right after Zan. On the off chance that something happens, that he gets sucked off. That means that
Sucked
off.
Zan and Art
that
don't get
guy in
sucked
a
off. Is it that kind of riddle?
It's that kind of riddle.
Who tells riddles like that?
Mad mages.
You get sucked off at the end.
Sucked off on my enchanted grounds.
No sleep can be
Nice.
found when you're sucked off on my hallowed grounds. He's gonna
We solved it!
I know, dude. Everybody just starts blowing each other. the mage is like, hey!
Not what I meant!
I've been here the whole time. Whoa, whoa, whoa,
Just,
whoa, whoa.
just get in the goddamn tower. We look up and the tower shaped with a dick. You know, it's just get the fuck in there. You crazy some bitches. Yeah, he's gonna stay close to Zan,
Okay.
but stay tied,
Yep.
and he's gonna inquire, do you want me to tie?
I think maybe Arwell will want to, but would prefer to be tied a little further back, so that if something happens
Time
to you
to
two, they
cut-
have time
cut
to
loose.
or
How,
do
how,
something.
how long do you want? It's a 50-foot rope, and I have way more, so do you want 15, 20 feet?
Yeah, 20 feet.
Yes. And he's gonna look at Val too.
Nah, I'm good.
Don't mind him, he's tired. He's crying when he's tired.
Abaddon will go behind.
Oh, I
So you're going in, and you're going
He's
right behind.
right behind, like, hand on the shoulder,
Okay.
fucking, but still tied.
So you
Case we
two
get
kind of
sucked
push
up.
your way. You starting,
So
you
stupid.
push your way through the hedge, and it's difficult at first, but then you start making your way through. You see Zan disappear in with Ari look back, hand on the shoulder. You push your way in. The rope goes slack.
Oh, fuck!
No.
Ah!
It's taut at first as you
Yeah.
watch, like they disappear in, and then it.
D&D
drops.
is such a classic game that I swear to God, you could call certain beats like that. Like, I've never read a
And
fucking
still
thing.
be shocked by it.
And still be shocked. I've never
Yeah.
read a goddamn thing. I don't know how to be a DM to begin with. I said that shit, it fucking happened.
But there's no tense moment. Like the
For
tense
you.
the tense moment is them walking in, but there's no 30 seconds of waiting. It's like they walked in, and your heart is beating hard in your chest as
So,
you
like,
watch
as soon
them,
as you can't
and then
see
as
us
soon as
through
you
it.
can't see, the rope just hits the ground.
Is
It's
it
still
the rope?
in
Oh, I was gonna say, is
the
it still
hedge.
connected?
Is the rope still moving forward?
It is not.
No.
No, here's it in the back going, what's going on?
Did we hear that?
I was talking to,
I know.
because I can only see Abaddon and you.
Yeah.
Who are
No,
talking.
you don't hear anything. You don't know what you hear or see. Yet.
It's because they're praying. He's like, I'm not a holy man, but please.
It's like, please, I know I sometimes make stupid, rash decisions as Zan. But come on, we're on the fifth step.
I had to go with you. Couldn't let you go down. Couldn't let him go down alone.
At
Yeah.
least you didn't turn around and
yourself.
shut the door like Erdnot did.
All right, Arwell.
Arl's gonna walk up to the bush, and she's gonna say, Zan? Eric? You alright?
And it is quiet. You hear nothing.
Has
Just
anyone
like
seen
you
the
have
movie
heard
Tron?
nothing this whole time. No birds. You haven't seen any in the sky. It is quiet. You turn around and Abaddon is like, Looking up at you.
Pack up my dice.
Reel the rope in.
you reel the rope in and it comes back.
Nobody's there.
Almost like it was never tied around anyway. Like you keep pulling and pulling
Is
and
it
then
like-
you get the full 15 feet that they had.
Is it like? Oh, sorry, I can't ask questions. Fuck, I'm in the bush.
You don't know.
I was gonna say, fuck, I'm in the bush.
Look at the rope. It is.
I say we keep going through.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't hear you screaming. So I guess it's.
It's a good one.
Marvel's gonna step in.
Okay. Abaddon is attached to you. So she follows. Her tail is wrapped around your waist at this point, and she follows right behind. Like you're tripping because she is so close to Hal. And Abaddon looks back at Val like, "You coming, Val?" As she gets pulled into.
And he's right behind her.
Okay.
We might as well eat candy.
I got a nervous eat. I'm sorry.
I know, I'm wondering about those brownies. Might grab one.
I mean, I guarantee statistically, I play more conservatively after I eat versus before.
So you all pushing your way through. You can feel you're getting your arms getting scratched and your face, and you're pushing and pushing. You taking up the lead, look down
Are we
and
still connected by the rope?
no, you look and there is no rope. You don't have the rope.
By
What rope?
rope!
You gonna
You're
need that
pulling.
stupid fucking rope for?
You have your arm, your hand on his shoulder, and you're pushing, and you're still going through. And finally, Zan, you just kind of you're pushing and expecting more in front of you, and then you just kind of stumble out, and you are and you right behind him, and then a couple seconds, not the same amount of time that it actually took for you to make the decision to go, but just a couple seconds later, everyone stumbles out, and up in front of you, you are standing maybe 30, 40 feet away from the base of Xonthal's tower. And you look up, it is, like I mentioned, like that square shape, very light tan. The sun is over in the sky, but more towards like a 2 or 3 o'clock time, and the shadow coming down. And as you sit there staring, like realizing that you made it through the whole fucking maze without making any mistakes, and
How did they listen to me?
I really thought you were about to say we're in front of the sundial again.
as you look up.
Hold on. Would you say we made it through the maze and we skipped everything else?
Everything that I
Holy
just
shit!
did. And as you look up, look at each other, then you look up and you see a balcony like jutting out from the top
Just
of the
this has never
tower.
happened to us.
Yeah.
Like, we have never
I don't
made.
know what's under
We
there.
have never made the right choice. Like
We've
Let alone 5 times in a row.
We've spent like action, like whole turns of time, just trying to break down doors,
Yeah.
and like we fucked up everything. This is the only time, like, oh, there's Lauren.
every time like we have like a set of things that like have to go right, like immediately, like at the beginning, it's like burn the fucker down, like immediately.
I mean, we're talking about slipping, sliding through mud, and like whacking into enemies. Like it's been the Benny.
I
But
could literally
as-
light my sword on fire, and that was gonna be like one of my go-tos if we failed that first one. I was just gonna be like, I'm slicing my fire sword through these bushes.
You see, as you look up, you hear heroes. You look up and you can see a figure dressed in black,
It is I, the mad mage, that
Standing.
made this place.
standing on the balcony that is like overhanging. There's a balcony that goes around the whole thing. He's waving something over his head. And it's hard to make out because of like how far you are from the tower and then how high up he is. And he says, "They saw you through the village. I've taken the mask, but they'll realize it's missing within minutes. Look for me beneath the tower. I will come down."
Or you can throw it down.
Or no, beneath the tower. It's the only place I have a chance to hide. This is the key that will help you teleport into the dungeon. And then he has something else in his hand, and it's like a white kind of glimmering hourglass. He says, "I will leave it behind after I use it, but others may find it before you do." And then he looks. You see, as he's up there, turns his head quickly to look behind him, and another figure dashes out onto the balcony. There's this, you see and hear like ching ching as blades are going, then a fire blast, and then the figure who spoke to you pitches the other figure over the balcony, and they go ah and fall and hit the ground at the base of the tower, and then they dash back inside. The figure that spoke to you.
That sounds more like us.
Yeah, there wouldn't have been enough time for Art to unfurl his carpet, would there?
No, all of this happened so fast.
I was
And
gonna say,
where
'cause-
is your carpet?
It's attached to my back. It's all rolled up and strapped.
You have a 7-foot.
Yeah. He's a tall guy. It's
7
like
by 5 foot.
Hey, if Donatello could use his bow staff and get through
Bow
the
staff
fucking
is like
sewer,
this.
Okay.
that's what we did last time. I don't know if you want to
I
retcon that and
mean,
be.
yeah, I was assuming because you were kind of traveling, like lightly to the castle.
Bag of holding.
He does have a bag of holding.
I guess we could do that. I just because like before he just had it attached to him. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
but you weren't like
riding on the back of a dragon and everything. with it.
adventuring, really.
It's your call. You're the DM. I can tell that you don't want it on there because I'd just be like, "Hey, magic carpet, go, go get the guy, come back, and be like, we're done."
Well,
Fucks the entire adventure.
It would take you a little bit longer
Yeah.
to. Yeah. By the time that all happened, wouldn't be able to. So I'll say you.
If you want to say that it's in the bag of holding or anything, I just had it in my mind attached to like rolled up and strapped to his pack and all of that, just because that's what we had money for.
Okay.
But if it fucks with stuff, then yeah, we can do whatever.
Doesn't it doesn't really fuck with stuff. It's just a little weird to walk around with a carpet attached to your back.
Weird guy.
All right.
We can throw it in the bag of holding if it simplifies things. I get it.
We'll say that you can have it, but it's gonna be strapped. Like it's gonna have straps on it to hold it.
Yeah. Instead of he'll just throw it in the bag of holding. It'll just simplify. Is it room in it for the carpet?
Okay.
Just simplifies
Yeah,
everything.
that probably makes more sense than.
Totally fine. Like I said, it's just like he had it that way. Like
He
when we were
hasn't
on the
been
dragon.
walking this whole time. He has just been sitting on the carpet.
That's what I should have done. But
I mean, you could have actually done that.
yeah.
I
But
mean, you
yeah,
wouldn't have solved.
He just had it strapped to him like when we were on the dragon and all that stuff. So that's why I just kept rolling with it. But if it simplifies things or whatever, to throw it in the bag. Totally
Okay.
fair.
Yeah, we'll say it's in the bag of holding while you're adventuring.
I don't even know if everybody knew that I had a carpet, a flying carpet.
You have not said anything to anybody.
I have a flying carpet in the bag of holding.
So we will.
How's that?
So we'll end with, as you all are standing there and you watch this body just fall down from the tower and then smack down right in front of you. With a loud, nasty thud.
Oh, I'm running over that carcass.
I was gonna
Well-
say pilfer the carcass.
The vignette will just go on you all, staring at this body
That's all,
about 40
folks.
feet down on the ground in front of you. But you made it through. Congratulations.
He's so
You
mad.
fuckers.
It would have been interesting to see which one you rolled up because there were several things that you can do. But yeah, you made it. You
I
did it.
really can't
I wanna know
believe
what's
that
under it.
we didn't like muff that. Like,
Well, me and her, we're like, let's follow our shadows at the beginning,
Yeah.
right? So,
Good thing you didn't
It
listen
was
to that.
close.
The first couple, I never would have
that's
gotten the
true
go
time
between
to
one.
me.
But yeah, like it
Sometimes
was,
the obvious choice is just the right choice.
You know what, honestly,
That's why I never do the obvious choice.
if I knew the correct definition of rot,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have thought, oh, we gotta walk in between. But because on this one, it had, because as soon as you told me rot, I was like, oh yeah, that makes no sense. Like I was thinking rot means rough.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I
I'm
thought-
like, oh, I need a dictionary.
I thought there was no way that going through the bush was the right
It
answer.
it seems
Like,
it almost
that's
seems
a
like
good
that's
job.
it's cheating. It
That's
feels
amazing.
cheating, but it worked.
I thought something really
Especially
bad was
because
gonna
there
happen.
is no fifth riddle
Yeah.
either.
Right.
But I was like, all right, other than the first one, we have not gone down any of the paths to this point.
Yeah,
Right.
congratulations, you did it.
Can we
But-
look up and look at the other ones now?
Well, we'll
You don't
do
have to
that.
explain them. I just want to say them.
We'll
Nope.
do that for the
Okay.
after session.
I just want to see how
We'll chat
fucked we would have
real
been.
quick. So thank you everybody for watching. This has been our
Thanks.
turn. We are gonna play on the 3rd of July. So I'm very excited about that. I have to prep the tower for you, and continue to enter into the monthly giveaway. We will be drawing our winner next week for the June dice, and I will also find out probably what the July dice are going to look like. So, yeah, we appreciate it. Welcome to our newest member. I'm very excited.
Awesome.
Awesome.
And we are going to find somebody to raid real fast because that is what we always do here.
We're gonna-
Everything's gonna go just as smoothly.
I was gonna
from
say
here on out.
we're gonna
This was
apologize
as-
now for this is not a normal like
Let's do.
things do not go this smoothly for
That
us.
was about as smooth and as perfect as anything we've ever done. Even when we've done something that ended like awesomely, it took, instead of doing this, we fucking like
Took a long way.
like our very first. Are we still live or did we sign off?
No, we're gonna raid. We're gonna
Oh,
raid
sorry.
We're gonna raid the Mercs of Mischief. Also for our patrons, we're about to hop over to the patron stage. Discord now has the ability to do text chat in voice and video channels, so you can actually come and hang out while we're chatting in real time. You can text chat with us instead of in a different channel, which was super annoying. So this is new and awesome, And yeah, our patrons can do this. So we are going to raid now Mercs of Mischief. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We will see you next
Thanks,
week.
everyone.
And
Bye.
yeah, bye.
Good night.
Bye.